Something like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen people do it. You've even seen people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even check someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, today we are going to be dealing with an interesting episode. We're going to feature someone who's actually displaying some of it right now very easily, you know, that people should be able to tell. We are going to be dealing with low value rage featuring Meg Thee Stallion, y'all. There was some low value rage featuring Meg Thee Stallion. But before we go too far into this, first of all, I want to say shout out to all my people who give me views on a regular basis, because I definitely appreciate you. You make up the fam around here. Shout out to the people who hype me up every chance they get, because I appreciate that big time. I definitely appreciate that big time. And that's real talk. Shout out to all the people who hit that like button. Y'all know it's a major thing to hit that like button. And shout out to the people who leave comments after the stream. Y'all are definitely helping the show get bigger and better. And please keep up the good work. And that's real talk. And shout out to everyone who goes above and beyond the call of duty. We got people who take the time out to become financial contributors over here at the Roger Report Live, and they all always appreciate it. So shout out to the sponsor of the streams. And today's sponsor is my main man, Truth Teller himself. Shout out to Truth Teller. He is a sponsor of today's stream. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. All right. And that's real talk. And want to give a couple of shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning. It's always great that when you start the show, you got a few people to check in with you right away. And the first one in the house, y'all know how I go around this point. There can only be one. So shout out to what we like to call the Highlander of today's stream. My main man, my main man, Trail Bentley has done it again. He's done it again. Shout out to Trail Bentley, coming through like a big dog, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag Hail Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. We got Patrick Saint in the building. What's good, my brother? What's good? We got Tunnel Runner in the house. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got the RX is in the building. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Floyd Thompson is at the cool table. Yay. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. We got 79 Kaliakate. What's going on, my brother? Glad you're here. Afro Merchant is in the building. Great to see you. Music Man 1982. What's up, my brother? What's up? Glad to have you in the house. We got User Op 1 in the building. Glad to have you. Bronk is checking in. Great to see you. Great to see you. Boot Camp. What's happening, my brother? What's happening? Inspired Truth Broadcast is in the house. We got the one, the only, one of the coolest men around these parts, Chef Mike's Roundtable, the Pit Crew Master is in the building. So shout out to him and the Pit Crew. So shout out to also to my main man, Mr. Shooks, you and J Dub. Glad to have y'all. Glad to have y'all. And that's just real talk. Okay. Y'all, we about to get into it. We about to get into it. Low value rage. Okay. This is something that women do on a regular basis, and a lot of guys just don't necessarily identify what's going on with the ladies, okay? We see ladies having certain problems, certain concepts, and they're just displaying some low-value rage, okay? Because they're coming at people for stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us, okay? They coming at the men. Why? Because they mad. They upset. They're a little pissed off, okay? It's not as lovely as a day that they believe that it should be, okay? And why are these things going on? Because they are upset that they are not who they need to be to get the things that they want to have. And rather than going back to the drawing board and fixing the problem, they rather just be mad at me and it ain't got nothing to do with their problem. Okay? See, this is something women don't really learn, when they're children, like men learn when they're boys. Have been told on me, and you learn to fix yourself up. So why? So you can cut the mustard. You know what I'm saying? Men know there's a chance. Every man knows there's a chance that he may not be good enough for a particular thing. And he needs to fight to get to be good enough for that particular thing. And you can fight the fight. It does not necessarily mean that you're going to make it, but it gives you a better chance to make it. Now, I think we do something wrong culturally, all right? And we need to start telling people to start moving in a little bit of a different direction. Because women blame men that they're not good enough, but they say it's men's fault that they're not good enough. And you can't fix a problem till you actually identify a problem. Okay, you cannot fix a problem till you actually identify a problem. I see somebody backstage. I'll bring you up soon. I'll bring you up soon. Just give me a minute. Give me a little monologue in. You can't fix a problem until you identify it. That's usually how it goes. It's very rare that you're going to fix anything without actually identifying that thing as a problem. But in America, in order to fix women's problems, it is a thing that we do here called blaming men. And this is why you can have so many women go through different levels of low value rage. Now, not to pick on Meg Thee Stallion, she's just a woman displaying a little bit of it right now. Okay, she's displaying a little bit of it right now. Now, I'll put a few links in the description so y'all can have an idea of who Meg Thee Stallion is if you happen to come here and you don't already know. Now, Meg Thee Stallion happens to be dating a man by the name of Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson is a pretty cool dude. Okay, pretty cool dude. He come from a pretty good family, as far as we could tell. You know, had some things going for himself. He did. He did. If somehow you are unaware who Klay Thompson is, all right, he plays in this league that you may have heard of. It's called the National Basketball Association. People call it NBA for short, okay? They call it the NBA for short. Now, this NBA only has 450 jobs. And basically, the best man wins when it comes to these 450 jobs. All right, there's 30 teams. Every team can have a 12-man roster with 3 players on injured reserve, which give you a total of 15 guys. So this only comes out to 450 spots. And you got to be one of the top 450 players in the country to hold down one of these spots. Okay, that's what you got to do. Now, not only has Klay Thompson been able to hold one of these spots down, he's been able to be a starter, which means he's the top 5 on a roster. Okay, he's one of the top 5 players on a roster. This is a heck of a feat. And he's been doing this for years. All right, he's been doing this for years. Now, Klay Thompson has certain advantages in life. You know, sometimes, you know, you're born into better situations than other folks are born into. Klay Thompson has some certain advantages in life. You know, he was born to a gentleman who also played in the NBA. Yes, his dad was an NBA player. So what does that tell you? Klay come from a little bit of money. Now, Klay got some money because he's been an NBA player himself right now. But he also come from money. So Klay ain't been broke. Like, Klay didn't have to grow up doing certain things that I'm going to say I had to do. I admit I ain't come up with money. A lot of folks don't want to necessarily admit that. But hey, I ain't come up with no money. Okay? I'm pretty sure Klay ain't never had to figure out what kind of sandwich he going to make because there was some bread in the house. But none of the normal stuff you would think about to make a sandwich, you know. No salami, no bologna, no peanut butter, no jelly. You had to, be a little creative. Come up with some, what? I got some bread. I'm going to make some stuff happen. Well, what I'm going to make happen? Because peanut butter and jelly is out the window. Klay probably ain't never really had those problems, okay? I ain't mad at him. Shout out to his family for being in a situation to not have those problems. I'm going to say shout out to Snobby Brother. Okay, I don't know what he's saying. Just got curious. He says, the Roger Report, I'm sorry, but I see this as an issue with brothers. Why is a man of that esteem hanging out with Meg of all people? Well, see, this is the thing. That's not a problem for a brother. It's a problem for Meg. Okay, Meg is literally upset about Klay. Klay has given no indication that he is upset about Meg. Klay living his life. See, I think a lot of times and it's kind of what I was saying, brother. We look at a problem and we put a problem in places that it does not belong. you shouldn't have a problem with Klay Thompson. Okay, now Klay's a grown man. He can do what he want to do. Now, if he want to play with somebody for a while, that's on him. Okay. Now, this is the thing. Megan upset, and I totally get why she's upset. And see, sometimes as men, we got to look at it from a female perspective if you want to understand what's going on. She's upset. All right. Now, in her mind, she has good reason to be upset. All right. She has a good reason to be upset in her mind. All right. And in her mind, she think there's some foul play. Now, what happened? Klay Thompson decided to go on some dates with Meg Thee Stallion. So the question is, does Klay have a right to go on dates with Meg Thee Stallion? Well, yes, he does. If he asks her out and she says yes, then hey, everything's good. Everything. Now, I get what you're saying. Then, maybe you should have never talked to her in the first place. That's what you're saying. Hey, you can take it that way. Not saying you're wrong to see it that way. But Klay can do what he wants at the end of the day. As long as he ain't hurt nobody, as long as he ain't damaging no property, Klay can do whatever he wants to do. Now, just because Klay can do what he wants to do does not mean a woman should act enraged because a man makes a decision that she does not agree with. So, y'all, this is what has happened. Behind the scenes, a decision has been made that Klay Thompson is no longer going to go out with Meg Thee Stallion. And Meg Thee Stallion made a public comment. She made a post that said, well, this is what the reports are saying. They said this is her actual post. Okay. And from the picture I see, it looks like it's her actual post. But it says, cheating had me round your whole family playing house. Got cold feet. And the cold feet, is in quotes. Holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be, quote unquote, monogamous. Now it says the B word. I ain't going to say the B word, but y'all know the B word. Okay. I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. Now, this is what Meg has supposedly released to her fans. Okay, she put it out there in public. All right. Now she's accusing Klay Thompson of cheating. And y'all probably believe Klay Thompson was cheating. I really believe a lot of folks believe that Klay Thompson was cheating just because she said it. Now, if you know anything about the Roger Report Live, y'all should already know. I don't believe Megan. What do I know about black women? Brothers. They're going to lie on you and they're going to lie to you. That's guaranteed when it comes to black women. On a collective level, that's what they're going to do. Now, Meg Thee Stallion is talking like she done been through something. You been through some ups and downs with him? Some ups and downs. That's what she wants to believe. She done been through some kind of ups and downs because he had some quote unquote mood swings during his season. Yeah, y'all know we talking about a professional NBA player, right? A professional NBA player. We talking about a man that has won championships already. Okay, a significant reason that his squad won some championships. So I'm supposed to believe someone named Meg Thee Stallion and say, oh, Klay must have cheated on her. Man, first of all, come on now. Now, if Klay say I cheated, then I'll believe Klay. All right? But Meg saying cheating, come on now. Let's be real about this. Now, and I want y'all to know the statement says cheating had me round your whole family playing house. Now, see, cheating and then follow that with had me around your whole family playing house. Now I understand that, she made Thanksgiving dinner, I believe it was. It was like a thing on social media that Meg made Thanksgiving dinner. Now, first of all, she said cheating had me playing family around your whole house. To me, that's a good indicator. We're not even talking about another one. If y'all care about somebody cheating, why would she say cheating and then say had me playing family around your whole house? She never really said anything about him cheating. So I don't even think there was another woman involved. Okay? And that probably truly hurts Megan, because if there's no other woman involved, that means you're forcing her to look at herself. And she got to come to terms with, I wasn't good enough for Klay. See, when you throw another woman in, which women would appreciate, to say, well, he's just no good and he can't be trusted. But when you don't have another woman to blame the situation on, you might have to look at yourself and say, no, Klay ain't rocking with me because I'm me. A lot of women don't want to accept that. So what do? They go into rage. And rage can come out in different ways. And throwing out posts on social media is one of the ways that it can be shown. But you never mentioned the other woman. She just said, had me around your whole family. So what if he did? You ought to be glad. A lot of guys ain't going to take you around mama, okay? A lot of guys ain't going to take you around papa. A lot of guys ain't going to let you be around the brothers and the sisters. You say he took you around the whole family. You should have took that as a win. Because number one, we talking about Klay Thompson. All right? And see, this is the thing. A lot of guys, we forget, any woman we're dating, if you want to say a woman can be at a man's level, that's his level. If she go out with him, that is her level. All right? And truth be told, it's not even really her level. It's a level she gets to be exposed to for the moment. Because a lot of women like to believe that they are high value. It's hard to be a high value woman if you don't have a husband. And that's something that a lot of women don't have to deal with. And a lot of guys are scared to tell them. What makes you a high value woman? All right? What husband you got that makes you a high value woman? Shout out to the Nice Palace. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Appreciate you. He says, long live the habitual line steppers. A box that fresh never gets cheated on. It becomes part of the bloodline. OTC. Okay, what am I not getting? OTC. I know that should be obvious to me, but y'all, what's OTC? I know it should be obvious, but I'm not clicking with it right now. Okay. Y'all, somebody tell me what the OTC is. All right. And I'm gonna say, look. Now I know I should know it, y'all. Don't get it twisted. I know I should know. And I know it's something very obvious. It ain't just clicking to me at the moment. That's all. It ain't clicking to me at the moment. All right. But I mean, I'm telling you, I already know. Okay. He said, I travel to you. Okay. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Okay. Appreciate you. All right. Now, this is the thing. She got some stuff she needs to deal with. She gonna blame Klay, but I didn't really catch where Klay did anything wrong. Just because a woman says cheating does not mean somebody cheated. And if a man cheated on her, I believe there would be far more focus on him actual cheating than what she put in her public statement. Number two, Klay don't belong to you. Klay did not marry this woman. Okay? It is a woman's job to audition to be a wife. But just because you audition for a part does not mean you're going to get the part. Now, I ain't mad at her for trying. But let's be real. Your name is Meg the Stallion. A stallion indicates a male horse. That's number one. Now that's your stage name. This ain't the name your mama gave you. This ain't the name your daddy gave you. This ain't the name that your grandma gave you. This ain't what your granddaddy suggested. You picked this one. Meg the Stallion. Okay. So you picked a male horse. Okay. That's how you want to be known. Okay, cool. Not even tripping. Not only did you do that, you dated a man that comes with a certain background. And I know maybe Megan may have forgot, but I remember the reports, y'all. I remember when Meg the Stallion came into the rap game, it was reported that she used to be a stripper. So did we forget that you've been a stripper? Shout out to my man Donnie. Glad to see you, brother. Glad to see you. Did we forget that you a stripper? Now I get it. She could say, well, I ain't stripped in a long time. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna say you did. But you got a second generation NBA player, and you think he gonna marry a chick off the pole? Who marrying chicks off the pole? Okay. One great way to show that you did not do that great in life is to marry a chick off the pole. Now, maybe I'm not going to say Klay even knew it. Maybe Klay didn't even know that you used to be on the pole. But if he going to marry somebody, you think he might check into what you was doing? You think he may have Googled your name at some particular point? You think he may have asked some questions? You think somebody he know may have referred to when Megan used to strip? Now, y'all can say, well, Megan said he cheated. Nah, if y'all believe that, I just saw her put the word cheating down and didn't even put no real indication that he was a cheater. I think this may have something to do with the fact that Megan came up off that pole. Are you really trying to marry a second generation NBA player and you done came off a pole? Now, I'll put some links in the description so y'all can get somewhat of an idea of who Megan is. I'm about to bring up some guests because I got a second guest down there. About to let them get to speak their word. But shout out to Waskin and Man K. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. He said, Roger, rather than he cheated or not, she needs to shut the hell up and take the loss. Waskin and Man K, I agree with you that she really should have been quiet about it. You know why she should have been quiet about it? Because that don't put people in my position who do content that have to come back and say, Megan, you was on the pole. Okay? If you was a stripper, now I don't know if she was actually on a pole. I'm just saying that as a representation that she was a stripper. I don't know where she stripped. I don't know if there was a pole where she stripped at. I assume that it was. I assume that she took her turns working the pole like strippers do. Now I'm thinking, if I'm a second generation NBA player, do I marry a woman who was on the pole? And I get it. Some women gonna say, well, sometimes when you're struggling, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. How long should you be on the pole, y'all? There's a lot of women that struggle. You go out there, you're selling your body because that's what you're doing when you're on the pole. How long can you be on the pole before your morals kick in if you have them? Okay? How long can you be on the pole? A month? 2 months? 3 months? See, y'all, I don't even act like people are perfect. I don't even pretend people are perfect. I don't do that. I do not believe people are perfect. Okay, you struggle for a while, and then all of a sudden, you say, hey, I'm going to get on the pole because I'm a woman. This a way for me to make some money. It's easy for me to do. See, I ain't going to act like a woman got to be perfect. But how much time are you supposed to be on the pole? And I can truly believe that you any kind of wife material. Okay? I mean, anything more than 90 days it get real questionable after that. Because to me, that's a real long time to be out here dancing naked if you see yourself as somebody. If you see don't worry about what the guys see. If you see yourself as somebody and you gonna actually be naked for 90 days or better so you can earn some money rather than do something else, that's real testy. That's real testy right there. And that's not even saying you got to be perfect and never hit the pole. I'm saying I'm going to give you 3 months to get on the pole. But who wants to marry a chick that was on the pole? But I'm going to slow down right now, and I'm going to let my guests get in. Appreciate y'all for coming through. AL, I believe you were here first, so go ahead. You got the mic, my brother. How you doing?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
You sound a little muffled, but I do hear you.
All right. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound low, brother. You sound very low. But you can make your opening statement and then try to make an adjustment after that. You sound low, but we can't hear you.
Well, I'm not trying to speak up, Roger, because you know my voice kills. I'm somewhere that I can't speak loud, so just bear with me.
Okay.
Good morning. Peace to the panel in the chat. Long live the habitual line steppers. You know how we do. Yay, yay. Anyway, number one, we got to clarify a few things. This person we're talking about is not a status. She's a male. For a person who graduated from Texas Southern University, you have no business calling yourself a male. Lady, you're too highly educated. I don't care if you did step on the pole and put yourself through school. You're too highly educated to call yourself a male when you know stallions are male horses. You are a female. You are a male. Nothing more, nothing less. Now to the Klay Thompson situation. She gets what she gets. She deserves what she gets. Nothing more, nothing less. And you know just as well as I, Roger, he's not gonna wipe her up. Yes, he knows her background. Her background is all over the internet. She has left a digital footprint to her life. There's no getting around it. Yeah, I'm on a date. I'm gonna have fun with her. Yeah, might drop a couple dollars. I don't mind entertaining her bar as long as I'm, you know what. But as far as that's concerned, no. So she want to be mad because he's cheating. He's a single man. He has every right to date whoever he wants to, stick his thing, you know what, whoever he wants to, as long as he's protecting himself, he doesn't catch any diseases. Who is she to complain or talk? He ain't put no ring on that finger, and he ain't gonna put no ring on that finger. But I digress. She's about to make me hot. Crybaby sick.
All right, my bad. I said that and I was on mute, but we got the champ is here. The champ is here. You got the mic, my brother. You got the mic.
Hey, long live the habitual line stepper. Happy Monday to the panel and everything else. And let me just say that today, Klay Thompson should be happy with himself. He dodged the bullet because we know about this lady's record. Her track record is not good. And we know that this lady allegedly framed a brother who is spending 10 years in prison for a crime that's very, very questionable and not believed. But
yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. So Klay, there are plenty of beautiful women around here in the United States that you can go out with, and if you want to put a ring on it, hey, go ahead and do that. As for Meg Thee Stallion, you're 31 years old. You named yourself after a male horse and everything else. You promoted a lot of highly maturing and misandry type of videos over the last couple of years and everything else. And to all you fans out there, if she's your example of a role model, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just gonna be single. You're gonna end up dying alone, just like as Kevin Samuels once said. So I land my plane.
All right, we're gonna about to give it to Tunnel Runner. Real quick, shout out to the Nice Palace. Nice Palace says she was playing an act at the end of the day. Now I have heard that Meg Thee Stallion has been educated, meaning she went to college. And other people have said this is just an act. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. Just because you go to college does not mean you're not gonna carry yourself in a certain way. So if it is an act, she's stupid. Okay. And if it's not an act, she's stupid. But stupidity is a choice at the end of the day. So if you can go to college and see how to present yourself better and you decide not to, that's on you at the end of the day. So actor or not, she presented to the world what she wanted to present to the world. It is on her. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Whether she faking the funk or not, we got what she gave us. Okay. And look like Klay don't want to be down. But let me go ahead and give it to Turner Runner. You got it, my brother. You got it.
Roger. I seen this woman about 6 years ago, no makeup, about 25, 24, looking way better than she looks right now. Way without the makeup or stuff like that, looking cute. But now she got all that makeup on. She got all this aggressive stands and stuff like that. And she's like upset that the man brought her over to the family. With the family, that's what you're supposed to do, because she said she had that WAP. When you have that WAP, sometimes it kind of blurs your vision. You bring her around your family so that you can see her clearly and see how she interacts. So you telling the world you got that WAP. Sometimes them guys can't handle a WAP, and they need somebody else to help them out with seeing what they really got. So you can't be out there talking about this stuff
It's
and not want
called
to have man bring you
discernment.
around his family. He got to bring you around his family so he can make sure you are who you say you are.
Yeah, it's called discernment. So they was trying to discern whether she was able to be a part of their family, and they wouldn't go just let anybody in. Klay Thompson's daddy, Michael Thompson, he come from Jamaica, man. He ain't down with that. He's an old school man.
And I'm gonna say, look, when it come down to it, Meg tried. She should pat on herself on the back that she was able to actually be around him for as long as she did. To me, that was a win. That was a win on her part. Now, we can't just leave out the fact that you was a stripper. And again, I'll even say just maybe Klay didn't even know about it. Okay, maybe Klay didn't even, but did you really think he wasn't gonna find out? When you do something like Meg Thee Stallion and you become and let's keep it real, y'all, she became a big time rapper. Now I know men we probably don't listen to women rappers much, but the women, they go for whatever rappers are available, and it ain't that many female rappers available. So if you're a female rapper with any level of success, you pretty much become a big time rapper because there's females that's going to support you. But you became a rapper and you used to be a stripper. It's only a matter of time for Klay finding this out. Even if he didn't know from the beginning, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time for his daddy find out that you used to be a stripper. I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time before his mama finds out you used to be a stripper. Now, if you were a more private person, it wasn't such a public figure, maybe you could have stripped and they never found out. I'm pretty sure there's actual women out there who used to strip and they married a man and they never let it out that they used to be a stripper. They made that part of their past just go away. They never brought it up again. But you kind of public, so how you think they not gonna find this out? To me, so it's crazy to even think that you ain't gonna get kicked to the curb at some particular point. It was just a matter of time. And when you do things that's just a matter of time, sometimes you should just enjoy the ride. Real talk, just enjoy the ride. Know it's coming to an end, and just be glad for what you was able to do. And shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. He said, we all know the drag makeup has to go.
Definitely, definitely.
I don't know what Klay Thompson's personal preference is. You know, I don't know if it was the makeup, because at the end of the day, he probably would have never messed with her in the first place if he really thought the makeup was too much. But I'm gonna say, I kind of believe her personal, who she is as a person, just wasn't gonna make it. And whatever Klay knew or didn't know about, if he already knew these things, it's just, I'm gonna mess with her for a period of time. If he didn't know these things, I'm gonna mess with her until I find out. Either way, it's gonna come to an end. How do you be her and date a second generational NBA player and your relationship with the guy doesn't come to an end? That's just unforeseeable as far as I can tell. That, to me, that was unforeseeable. Now, I didn't make no public thing about it, but I knew when I heard the announcement that Meg Thee Stallion was quote unquote exclusively dating Klay Thompson, I'm like, that ain't gonna last. Now, I didn't quote unquote wish for their demise. I just said, realistically, that ain't going nowhere. And shout out to Black Uru Strikes. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. He says classy, bougie.
No,
Hitting it with the lyrics. Classy, bougie, ratchet. What's happening? What's happening? Well, at the end
Roger,
of the day, you have to drop some of that. You can't be classy, bougie, and ratchet and end up marrying a second generation NBA player. You have to let some of that go.
And Roger, we got to give her just a little bit of credit, because she did try to domesticate herself. She tried to cook for him, and she put it out there. She got it made some pasta and some catfish for him, and they even said that it was halfway decent. So she tried to do something. That's more than a lot of these women would do.
I personally have no problem believing a stripper knows how to cook. Okay, I believe a stripper can cook. Okay, that does not mean I want to be with a stripper. And you know what? Yes, there is some public information about how another black man was kicking it with you. Now he's serving time. What it look like on a shady sentence? It looked like he got played on. When you look at the facts of the case, look like that man got played. So now I'm just keeping it real. I'm talking to a young lady, and she starts telling me my last guy, he's serving time right now. I'm gonna have some questions, okay? I'm gonna have some questions. I'm not necessarily pressing forward with this particular relationship, and she may not like that. So, boom, now you have an invitation for her to go into rage mode, and I think that's just what Meg Thee Stallion is doing. She is just going through low value rage, which a lot of women are going through right now. And I'm gonna get a little more into that, but before I do, I'm gonna get a mic to my main man. Bailey Starks Enterprises is in the building. You got it, my brother.
Magnificent Monday. Long live the habitual line steppers. Yay, yay. Roger, thanks for having me up. Peace to the panel and chat. Yes, I do agree. Meg Thee Stallion is going through a low value rage situation, because I believe she realizes that if you can't date a clean cut and be with a clean cut guy like Klay Thompson, whose dad, Michael Thompson, played in the NBA, who was the nemesis to Charles Barkley, who probably wants to throw some shots at Michael Thompson because she picked somebody from Dallas versus his team in Houston. I think Charles had a little bit to do with that, and reminding Michael how they used to kick it back in the day. And, it just sets her up. And that low value rage is her going to be, she's going to be projecting, she's going to be out for any other NBA player. If you can't, date Klay Thompson, you can't date nobody in the NBA. So being cut off her supply. Mm-hmm. And it's going to leave, she got a bad taste in the mouth, but any other NBA player, it's going to be like one of them warning labels. That's Meg Thee Stallion, but you might not want to date her. She kicked Klay Thompson to the curb. And she got Tory Lanez locked up, So, she bad business. She's next person to get with her, it'll probably suffer that third strike. And it'd be a little little more fatal. But so her career, she didn't transition as well too, being 31. You know how they say you can't be a 31-year-old rapper in the industry. So she got to find something else to do. So, you know, she's trying to attach herself to one of the six-figure men, like a lot of women say they want. Klay, height, might not have the muscles, but, you know, I don't know. She probably got mad cooking at catfish, though. You know, some of the women, the old strippers, don't like to really cook like that. They can cook, some do, but they don't like to. They like to be a little lazy. I land my plane there. I'll chime in a little later. Get back to work here. Thank you, Roger, for having me up, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Shout out to all my hoes, the monetize. He said, remember this man referred to her as a nice lady. Who referred to her as that? Yeah, are you talking about us or are you talking about Klay? Because I'm gonna say whoever referred to her as a nice lady, it depends on the context of how he said it. And you know what? She might be a nice lady. She might very well be a nice lady.
Boy,
but
please.
She still used to be a stripper. That's all I'm gonna say. She still she a nice lady who used to be a stripper.
Cut it out.
Now we got Black Uru who has come up, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him the mic. Black Uru, you have the floor, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Roger. I hope you and the fellows on the panel, folks in the public chat, are doing well. I mean, to me, the only real fascinating part about this story is why Klay ever chose to get involved with that woman to begin with. I mean, Klay is kind of a quiet guy. He kind of keeps low key. You know, he dates he previously dated the starlet. He had a pretty good run from what I see, a damn good run. It was a period where he was kind of like the Derek Jeter of the NBA, you know, fabulous run. You know,
he was man in the streets.
The point in which he got with this particular female, and I'm like, what was the upside there for him? I mean, obviously, it's great for her, great PR, great. I mean, all positives. You know, wealthy, good looking, tall, NBA fame, championships. I mean, it's nothing but upside for her. I never saw the upside for him in dealing with her. And, you know, in the few times you would see them together in either stills or video, he never looked to be particularly happy or comfortable when he was with her. So the whole thing seemed kind of staged, or I don't know. I kind of feel I felt similar, although not to the same degree. But I kind of felt similar when Michael B. Jordan got involved with Lori Harvey, where you have these black men at the highest possible levels in their particular field and craft, and they have everything going for themselves, and they're good looking, and they can have any women they want, and they, for whatever reason, make a very risky choice with the women that they don't have to make and that they don't benefit from making. So when I think about this story, I think, I could say, I think and say all kinds of negative things about her, but I'm really fascinated by why he ever got involved with her to begin with.
All right. Guys, give a shout out to all my hoes, the monetize. Appreciate you, my brother. He said, I said that because I knew where it was going. Laugh out loud. Hey, I'm not going to say she's not a nice lady. She very much could be a nice lady. She could be a quote unquote lovely individual at this particular point in time. But she still was a stripper. So it is what it is on that note. It is what it is. Shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. He said, Klay isn't 6 figures. He's 9-figure net worth. Yes, y'all. Klay Thompson is worth at least $100 million at this particular point, y'all. he doing pretty well. Klay is doing pretty well. So you know what? I kind of see it more as Black Uru. I don't even know how she got in the door in the first place. Real talk, you know. But I get more on that later. I'm gonna slow down because we got Shark Sim.
Yes, y'all do. Y'all know how he got there. Y'all know why he wanted that. Come on, Primal. I'm just gonna.
I'm saying I don't know how she even got in the door. I totally understand why he would mess with her for a little bit. I just don't know how she even got in the door. But you know, you never know. Could have just met her after a game or something. You never know. But we got Shark Sims here, so I'm gonna go ahead and let Shark get in. Shark, you got the mic, my brother. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, brother.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Uru kind of hinted at it at the end of his 2 minutes. He was kind of getting there. I thought he was gonna go all the way, drop the car all the way and park it, but he didn't. You gotta, first of all, if my spidey senses is all the way up, I'm not, and don't quote me on this, but I think Klay is managed by that Jay-Z whole, because you know that they manage sports players now, right? He might be managed by them. Who's in cahoots with them? Megan Thee Stallion, she's under them, right? This was all to clean up her image with the whole Tory Lanez thing. Remember, for a little while, there was a whole bunch of talk about he might be getting out and different things happened to him while he was in prison, and people were looking at her like a bad person all over again. This was used just to get her image cleaned up a little bit and to give Klay Thompson a little bit of urban edge. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, their PR group, their PR crew is ill because we're sitting here talking about it right now. You know they don't. That was not. It was no way in the world they matched up. It's only publicity to get her name looking a little bit good. And they did a good job at it, because you ain't hear people talking about Tory Lanez that much after she got with this dude, and she was looking like an angel. She coming through with soul food plates put on a real plate, thinking that she cooked it and all that. Like, come on, B. So they did a good job, and that's like a lot of this stuff is a lot of smoke and mirrors just to keep people distracted from things that's really going on in the world that we should be worrying more about. You know what I mean? And this was a perfect one. They did it, especially in our community. We be worried about all kinds of crazy stuff while the world is falling apart.
I get the upside for her, obviously. The obvious upside for her. But where I'm stuck is, I mean, he's already rich. I mean, he's already worth over $100 million. So what are you trying to do with her in particular? You being who and what you are and how you live. I mean, Klay kind of lived a kind of quiet, kind of surfer dude life in a way. You know, I mean, he doesn't really seem like the type that it was particularly motivated to have, you know, a whole lot of PR on him, and especially not the type that he would end up, you know, in a tizzy in social media. So I get why she did it. It's very obvious why she did it. It's very lucrative for why she did it. But I don't get why he did it. I don't get what kind of offer he got to do it.
I can hear them right now in the office. It's going to help your black card.
And so you think he just fell for the okie doke?
No, it's business. It's business. It ain't an okie doke. It's straight up business.
But how? How would it help with black card?
Again, you guys are saying that. Well, first of all, Klay was super popular amongst black dudes. You know, I mean, black dudes didn't have no problem with Klay.
Not as far as basketball. He has a kind of a, like you said, a surfer dude type of thing. Like, all I'm saying is that the urban crowd of our people, they wouldn't even know who he was really unless they watched basketball.
Yeah, possibly maybe to have him maybe some younger folk will recognize who he is. I don't really know what Klay was gonna get out of it, being real. So I'm kind of maybe some younger fans, but
I mean, except for maybe if you really believe this whole thing, like where Russell Wilson has supposedly been helped by Sierra, I don't at this point yet see how Russell Wilson has been helped by Sierra. In fact, I think Russell left Seattle because of Sierra, and I think that tanked his career. So, I mean, even just this whole fantasy about Russell Wilson, I don't think Russell Wilson has particularly benefited. Now, if they love each other, they have a big family, they got children, that's well and good. But just this notion of getting with them, I don't believe in this getting with men raise the social value of women. Women do not raise the social value of men. Women do not raise the economic value of men. Men raise the economic value of women.
But you're saying this from as a 60-year-old man who lived in the real world before. These niggas is going into a whole new world, bro.
Yeah,
They
but
literally think
Klay
that
is worth over $100 million. This guy is a real businessman. He's got a business behind him. He's not just some dumb dude. His father played in the NBA. Played for the
all that
Lakers.
clout.
Yeah, his father was a really good forward.
Attention is a hell of a drug, Uru.
All
And then
right.
I'm telling you, I think it was some of that management company. I think he is managed by Jay-Z's company, and Megan Thee Stallion is there. So they're like, "Yo, we need you to help her out." And he probably did it. He probably didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let me do this. Boom, boom.
Say, I'll do you a solid.
Yeah, I'll do you a solid.
Okay, well, let me get these in. Shout out to Bronk. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Bronk comes through with the super chat. He says, Klay looked uncomfortable as F. I ain't gonna say the F, but y'all know what he's talking about. He looked uncomfortable as F in the relationship. Glad he got out before he got Tory Lane. And
he ain't in the clear yet. He's not in the clear yet, Bronk.
What,
you know, he's one so-called he put his hands on me comment away. So he ain't in the clear yet.
Yeah, I'm about to say you're never in the clear as a black man at this point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what we got to deal with that part. Shout out to Low End Theory. Appreciate you, my brother. He says that's the leverage and privilege of being rich. He can date who he wants to. I'm gonna say, yeah, more power to him for that. He definitely can date who he wants to. You know, I'm with him all day long. And if you went through all the trouble it took you to get rich, you might as well date who you want to. Shout out to Urban Reed as well. He says, laugh out loud, Steph can't have problems with his wife and Klay not have any issues. The Splash Brothers. You can't talk Luigi without Mario. Hey. Shout out to Urban Reed for that. Look, I'm just gonna say this, y'all. I think what's going on, because we look at things in a way, I'm gonna say that don't quite make sense. All right. This Meg is doing what a lot of women do. Meg is just a high profile person doing what a lot of women do. She's throwing a fit because some guy don't like her. And that's all it comes down to at the end of the day. She's throwing a fit. She done made her public post. She threw cheating out there, but didn't really get in any detail of how he was cheating. So I honestly believe she never caught him cheating. She just put the word cheating out there to try to misdirect people and get her fans to be mad at Klay Thompson as if he did something wrong. That's what I truly believe happened. I truly believe she never had a chance. When they first got together, I knew this was going to, come out to nothing. I don't remember saying it publicly. I don't think I did. She could shoot her shot and go for it, but I just didn't see how her background was ever going to get her to a point where she was going to be able to get married to somebody like a Klay Thompson, because even if he didn't know everything, her public information is going to come out. He's going to find out if he didn't already know. So to me, it's just a matter of time. And I think this is where we need to.
You think Klay didn't know everything about her past before he got with her? I mean,
No,
you
no,
really
I'm
you
not
really
saying he didn't
believe
know.
he did not know?
I'm not saying he didn't
I
know.
mean, the guy's worth 9 figures. He knew everything about her. There's
No,
no
no, not
way his people around him. I'm saying no way his people around him would not let him know, considering everything that he has on the line. Of course he knew. He would have to know. The business people associated with him would have to know.
what
Of course he knew everything about her.
I do agree with that. And I was saying that even if he didn't know something, it was going to be brought to his attention no matter what. So that's why I never thought their relationship was going to make it. It's just too much there. You're dealing with a former stripper. You look at how she carries herself in the world now. Y'all, if y'all checked out the links in the description, y'all should, if you looked at that interview she did on I'm assuming that was Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Look what she was saying on there. Like, you are a public figure and you're saying this about yourself. You're talking about a show called Sex in the City. And I admit I've never watched Sex in the City, but I get the gist of what it was about. But what she said about the characters and then who she saw herself in when it comes to the characters, you saw yourself in a character that's trying to dominate men. How's that gonna work out for you? Then the other one who was supposed to be this woman who can't not have sex with people. You said I see myself in her too. Okay, so anybody who sees this, I'm a guy watching television. I see you say all that. Why on earth would I end up with you at the end of the day? There's nowhere in the world I'm gonna end up with you. As a man, sure, we might hit something, but I ain't finna end up with you. And I'm thinking maybe the only way for him to hit it because of the public situation is for him to give us some slight kind of relationship. Look, we'll be together for a couple times. I mean, for a year or so. I'm gonna hit it, and then you can walk away, and then that'll be that. I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happened in this particular situation. She didn't want to be known as a jump off for Klay. That's what I really believe it is. She didn't want to be known as a jump off for Klay, but you had to know what was coming.
Hey, Roger, let me just say this before I leave. When she got hooked up with Klay Thompson, a lot of her fans, and especially the majority of black women, were just jumping up and down because she got with a very kind of a mixed race type of guy and everything else. And this was supposed to be a win for her. Instead, this is a loss, and it's going to be a while for her to recover from this.
I don't know if it's a loss for her. It would have been a one had she married him. I give you that all day, and I'm pretty sure a lot of black women were super hoping that this was gonna go somewhere. But I'm gonna say this is where we need to really look at the reality of this and kind of why I put this show together.
Okay,
there ain't really no such thing as a high value woman.
That's true.
A lot of women want to see themselves and say, I'm a high value woman. How can you be a high value woman? What value do you bring?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Oprah is not a high value woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she a billionaire. But women do not date men for the most part and bring value to them. So to find a woman that even exists that would bring value to a man, that's a hard concept in itself. Now, I'm not going to say in the black community we don't have women who earn some money and they out earn the dude, because a lot of black women are purposely looking for a man who makes less than them. That does happen. Yeah, okay? But she does not do that to make his life better. She does that so she can control him. Now, I'm not saying she's successful at controlling him, but that's what she attempts to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if he ever becomes something and stays with her, she likes to throw, hey, you was nothing before you met me. I made you who you are. So he'll feel guilty and stay with her because she gonna pretty much stay where she is, even though he's gonna try to continue to climb in life.
Yeah, kind of like what's going on with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, and in some sense Sierra and Russell Wilson.
I'm not even saying it like that because they were already with men that were already at a high value. You got to understand when those two women met those guys, them guys are already high value. The thing is, there ain't really no such thing as a high value woman.
Yeah.
Which is why you have women going through low value rage. They get into real scenarios and they have to deal with the fact that their value isn't high. Because ain't nobody really ever told them. Because the truth is, as a woman, you don't really make the world better for men. It's very few men who has a wife that is an asset. And I understand as men, this is something we don't say. We don't throw it out there. You know, we get in certain positions. We win an award or something. We say, you know, I want to thank my wife. She was my greatest supporter, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah. I ain't saying it's wrong for men to do that. What I'm saying is, realistically, the woman we're with is not really where we're going to get our value from.
Right.
She's going to help when it comes to the family, and that's fantastic.
Okay. All right, Roger. Thank you for that.
I think
have a good one.
I think the way
take care, brother. Take care. Wait, hold on. Before you say it, Black one, let me read the super chat. Shout out to Landon. He says, if for a good time, not a long time, was a person. I think, you know what, Megan Thee Stallion perfectly describes that in this particular scenario. Yeah, it should have been a good time, but she should have already understood it wasn't going to be a long time. Go ahead, Black Guru.
Well, I mean, I think there are high value women. I just think the measure of the value of a woman is different from that of men. The measure of value of a woman is what she does in support of men, what she does in helping to create a great home environment and help to raise wonderful children. I'll tell you, ironically, who is a very high value woman. Klay Thompson's mother. How do I know Klay Thompson's mother is a high value woman? Klay Thompson's mother was a volleyball player in college. She met her husband, Michael Thompson. They got married, I think, in college or soon after that. Michael Thompson was the #1 draft pick in the 1978 NBA draft. Played with the Lakers, won 3 championships with the Lakers. This is how I know Klay Thompson's mother was a high value woman. This is how I know. They have 3 sons. 2 of their sons play in the National Basketball Association. The other son played in the Major League Baseball. So I know Klay Thompson's mother was a great wife and a great mother. So to me, she was definitely and is definitely a high value woman. It's just not by the same measurement that you measure a high value man.
Exactly.
I agree.
And I do agree with that, but I am pointing out the fact that those women ain't really around anymore. I'm literally pointing that fact out. The average woman ain't her. Okay? But a lot of average women think they are her. They think they bring the type of value that woman brings. And you look at someone that like Meg, she don't. She's not her. She ain't gonna never be her 9 times out of 10. And the average woman needs to know she ain't her. Most women are of low value. And that's just real talk. If they were high value, they would be with men and they would be making something happen with themselves. And most women cannot say that's what they're doing. So again, high value women don't really even exist anymore. And truth be told, the last of the generations of the high value women, you know, in a few years, they about to be really dying off for real. People make it to somewhere between 80 to 100, you may say. You know, people may make it to about 80 to 100. Very soon, a lot of the women who are the high value women, they're going to be in that 80 to 100 mark. And they're going to be dying off. You know, so someone like Meg Thee Stallion and a lot of cohorts her age and younger, they not high value women, and they ain't going to never become high value women. And that's a reality that we need to deal with and put it on out there so they'll know how to adjust themselves. That's all I'm saying, because I can't say you're wrong about Klay Thompson's mom. Obviously, she did a fantastic job. But how many women trying to be like her? Not that many. We got Bronk here, so I'm going to go ahead and give Bronk the mic right after I read this super chat. Super chat just came in. Shout out to Irvin Reed. He says, white test. wife test. She tried, family vetoed. And that very much may have been what's going on. Because again, y'all, I don't see how she gonna have this past and her mom and dad don't find out about who she is, what her past is. I don't see her family not checking her out. So I didn't see how this was gonna go anywhere anyway. And that's just real talk. Okay. I didn't see him making it. But go ahead, Bronk. How you doing, brother?
What up, Roger? What up, chat? What up, panel? Um, hey, Uru made a comment earlier, just referring to the videos and photos that were out there of Clay and Megan's relationship, and I thought the exact same thing. God didn't look happy at all, man. In fact, there was one Bleacher Report video that I watched after she, kind of put all on social media how she was cooking him and his family Thanksgiving dinner. She showed him on video at the end. He's just sitting in the seat like, man, will you please turn off this camera? Like, you've been following me around with this camera all day. Can I please just sit down and have dinner with my family? That was the look on his face. It's this relationship again that I believe benefited her way more than it benefited them. You even saw that and how she portrayed the relationship versus how he portrayed it. She always had him on camera on social media, posting this, that, and the third. The man looked unhappy. He looked tired. He looked like he had his fun while it lasted, but it looked like the fun ran out for him, and he just had to move on and do Clay. The man's got 4 rings, and Megan thought that she was going to be the 5th, and he say nah.
It literally looked like an obligation.
Yes.
It literally looked like he might have lost some money at a poker night with some of them big dogs, and that was the bet. Like, yo, I need you to do this favor for me now. All right, I got it. How long I gotta stay with her? All right, bet.
Whoever loses next hand got to date Meg the Stallion.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it was all to make her look like a better person.
But you gotta do it for real, though. You gotta do it for real. You can't just take it out once. You gotta do it for real.
Man, oh my God.
I don't want to do that. She's shooting niggas. I don't want to do that.
That's why it's a bet.
So it was just put together to make her look a lot better in the public eye, because she was really looking real horrible off this whole Tory Lanez thing.
Yeah. Now my thing is, Meg the Stallion is just a low value woman. Now, and I'm gonna explain this a little bit because I understand there may be some being who say, well, she rich and she a rapper. How can she be low value? She ain't got no value in the places where men seek women. We don't care if she rap. Okay, so she can rap. Okay, and this is the reality. When women make money, they're not making money to share with a man anyway. They're only making money so they can say a man who makes more. I need that kind of man to date, who make more money than her. Her money has no value to me. That's on her. It ain't my rule. Those are, you know what I'm saying? That's not my rule. Those are rules that women make up for themselves. Nobody told them to do this. They decided to do this and live this kind of way where, well, if I make some money, the man got to make more than me no matter what. So therefore, her money has zero value to me at all. Now, you got zero value when it comes to money, which means you earning money takes away things that would be valuable to me, because now you can't even give me the free stuff because you working for somebody trying to make some money for yourself. Then the more money most women make, the less likely they are to do nice things for men. Let's be realistic about that. Now, I'm not saying you can't find a woman who make money who won't do a nice thing for a man, but realistically speaking, the more money women make, the less likely they are to do nice things for men. So where's the value? Yeah, I'm not saying she ain't valuable to her employer. Meg the Stallion probably has a lot of value to a record company, but to a man, what's so great about her?
Well, in her defense, I don't know how they do it in other communities of people, but in our community, as long as she got a fat butt, she's valuable. And that's where her attitude, and that's what you see a lot of right now. If we didn't value just a fat behind, these women would some of them would step in line a little bit more. It would be 5% of good black women. It would probably be like 15 to 18%. But us as men, we just value just a fat ass. She ain't got to bring nothing else to the table but a fat old butt.
Well,
Well,
to
son,
get
she's
to
poison
get
then. You can't trust the big butt to smile, man. Can't trust the big butt to smile. She's poison.
Yeah.
well, the
Like
thing is,
this ain't Uru's generation
she
where you had to make a man a plate, you know what I mean, and da da da. No, this
no,
is 2026s. We this is you get bitch all she gotta have is a fat old ass.
but see that's why she's a low value woman. She does have a value, and she's valuable enough to get some dick. But outside of dick, where's the value? She's valuable enough to get some dick. The average woman is valuable enough to get some dick. A guy would like you to suck his dick. Sure. I'm won't even argue that. Yeah, most men to any random woman just about have enough value to suck their dick. Outside of sucking their dick, where is the value? And Meg, I do believe because she is a public figure, I believe she is rich, and because she has had success as far as being a rapper is concerned, I believe that she thinks she's high value. And I believe all the women who following behind her, talking about Klay is doing something wrong or why would Klay do this and all this. I think those are a bunch of other women who think they're valuable. But when you actually check what the value is, it's a for dick for some guys. Because this is guys that won't even sleep with them. If we want to be realistic.
Yep.
Wait, you want to be realistic, Roger?
Absolutely.
What do you think the stats of that is? If you walk down the street and you say, "Yo, would you date Megan Thee Stallion?" How many men you think is going to say hell no, and how many you think is going to say hell to the yeah?
Well,
Let's be real.
if a person thinks about dating as in I'm going to take her out and I'm going to pay for it, I think you're going to at least have half of them to say no. Now, if you say, "Are you willing to sleep with Meg Thee Stallion?" I think you might get 80% that's going to say yeah.
And what do we always tell you? Just them having sex is validation for him. So we
What?
she's valuable.
I'm not saying she ain't valuable, but there is something called low value. She does have low value. Outside of dick, what do you really want her for?
Yeah.
She
But
has a value.
other than that moment when you have had sex with her, or really like just before you're about to have sex with her because she's Meg Thee Stallion. Once you get past that moment, all the value kind of ceases. I mean, that's why there's this parade of other rappers, because leading up to that moment, there may have been some excitement to it, but right after that, she just became another wet piece of ass that was complaining about something or whining about something or asking for something, and her value immediately plummets after that moment.
Yeah. Because I don't want to say women don't have no value at all. I just want to be realistic about what their value is. And I think a lot of women buy into a concept that they are high value. And I believe Meg would be one of those women. But outside of sucking my dick, Meg ain't really got no value. Now, I'm going to be realistic. I would hit it because she thick. She got a butt on her. She got some nice titties on her. But what she got other than that?
You see, you're making the value. That's what I'm trying to say. So why should there be anything other than that if you're gonna give them some sex?
No. The thing is, I would give her sex, but I wouldn't give her anything else. So she has low value. Everybody has some value. It's just some people have low value. Some people have some medium value. Some people have some high value.
She got a pretty
Meg Thee
mouth.
Stallion is about as low as you can get. Outside of a bodily function, what value does Meg Thee Stallion offer? You see what I'm saying? Other than busting a nut, what does she offer? Because realistically, she ain't finna give. She's not trying to sign up to give
And I
money
mean,
to a man.
even having sex with her is actually a low value activity. Like, let's compare her to just say Janet Jackson. Having sex with Janet Jackson would be considered a high value activity. Well, why? Because Janet wasn't letting a lot of dudes fuck on her. So if you one of the few guys that got it, you could claim some degree of status for that. You can't claim status for fucking on a hoe, and a well-known popular hoe at that. If anything, it's negative value. You look like a cuck.
I don't know. I think Janet had a
Yeah,
lot of
you
the
know.
dancers signing NDAs though.
What that still means is unknown
Oh,
though.
that's even better, because that means she was
Oh,
clean and
goodness.
quiet about her shit. That's even better.
Yeah, you're right. I give you that.
Because guess what? What I don't know don't hurt me.
Mm-hmm. And let's be realistic. The only thing we really got on Janet is rumors. You know, you got such and such used to mess with Janet. All we got is rumors. You know, ain't nobody came out and confirmed anything.
Yeah. I mean, we've only seen Janet publicly like about 3 or 4 dudes since like different strokes. Shit.
Had good times.
Good times.
No pun intended.
Before she was even in the dudes.
Right. Exactly.
You know, before she even liked the dude, you know, she been out there, you know what I'm saying, as a public figure, but she ain't never been out there as a woman. You know? So yeah, it would be to say, if you could say I hit Janet, you get some props. But if you say I hit Megan, you know, now truth be told, if you even learned about Megan's past, you may not hit it because, again, she was a stripper, so ain't no telling what she done did, especially back in her stripping days. Ain't no telling what she done did. You know, there are rumors that to come up in the music game, sometimes you got to do a little something here or there with a producer here, producer there. Now, if I'm gonna guess, which chick was busting it wide open so she can get her songs out? I got a stripper who's very popular right now. Would she bust it wide open so she can get some songs out and get popular, get the record? Yeah, of course she would. There's nothing you would tell me Meg the Stallion did that I wouldn't believe. You know, some random producer could be like, yeah, man, I'm such and such, and you know, I had Meg bust down for me, my brother, my cousin, and 3 of my friends. Would I believe that about her? Absolutely. I ain't saying it happened, but would I believe it? Sure. Why wouldn't I? Meg used to be a stripper.
You know what, Roger? I think Klay Thompson was getting clowned by his boys for being with her in the first place. And when you look at the photos and the videos, he always had that look on his face, man, like, damn, this is what my boy's talking about right here. Like, dang, they right, man. And I believe he had an epitome one day. He was like, you know what, man, I'm Klay Thomas, man. I'm a 4-time NBA champion. What the hell am I doing, man? They right. What am I doing?
Bro,
what am I doing?
That's what I'm saying. It's either he had an obligation or he the stupidest man in the world. Because you can get any female you want and you went and got her. That's why I'm like, it's had to have been a contractual obligation. Like, you know what I mean?
But yeah,
I don't see you being that.
That makes sense. That makes sense, man. You lost
a
bet, bro.
I see it right now. They was in there. I see it's about 5 guys in the room. You know what I'm saying? At least 3 of them was smoking on some cigars. At least 3 of them was having some drinks and say, hey, whoever lose, y'all got to date Meg the Stallion, but you got to do it for real. You can't just take out once. You got to do it. And that's the hand that Klay came up short. You know, it is what it is. He came up short. That had to do what he had to do.
I say it with the brothers. I say it with the 2 his brothers. They were probably trying to shoot us. They shot. And Klay said, no, I'm going to get it for y'all again. You know, they probably met her. They probably was in the strip club, throwing ones at her. And decide, like, oh, like, we're going to shoot our shot. Man, she ain't going to date y'all. I bet she will. I bet y'all get it for y'all. Brother, sibling rivalry.
Now it could have been something like that, but I don't think he would actually keep her as long as he did if it was just that. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing about that. Yeah, that definitely could play out. I wouldn't have kept her that long.
You know how I go.
Yeah,
They hated and told Mama, Klay dated a stripper. What? Not my Klay.
Klay, your brothers done gave me a little information. I just want to ask you: Is this true? Is this true? Because they claim the girl is stripper.
Is that the girl that made that WAP song?
Oh, yeah, that's her.
Now shout out to the Great Pretender. He say never forget that Klay Thompson rejected model Abigail Ratchford because he was looking for a wholesome woman to spend time with, and his dog Rocco. Now look, Great Pretender.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I knew exactly what was going on. Klay wanted to hit it, but because Meg Thee Stallion is also a public figure, he made some kind of deal with her, whether she was reluctant to accept it or not. Look, because she's a public figure, I can't just have you hit it and then just disappear. We got to rock together for a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe something like that could have happened. You got to give me like a year or something because, I got fans. I can't just let you hit it and throw me away. I got a reputation to uphold. Hence the post that she made talking about cheating, but didn't say nothing about cheating. See, I easily believe something like that would happen.
It's weird though because Klay's been a popular sort of celebrity figure for over 10 years now, especially after the Warriors started winning championships. So, and he's been with the starlet set, and he's kind of quietly conducted his affairs. And whenever you would see him with these women, he appeared to be happy with them, appeared to be engaged emotionally with them. So even when the way he looked with them, if you go and look at some pictures and videos of him with his prior women and compare them to similar images of him and Meg, they're very different. I mean, he looked like he is trapped with Meg. Most times I've seen like he's holding in a fart, or it's just kind of hard to tell what's going, but something ain't right there.
I'm telling you, he lost the bet. I just can't confirm because I wasn't in the room.
And by him having the status he had in the image that he has, which is mad cool, never getting in any trouble, hearing him getting in any kind of drama, he kind of set motherfuckers back with messing with her.
All right, now I gotta say shout out to Great Black Reset. Guess it's a great time to say this one. He said, "Start a new gig today. Don't have time to stop Shark from all that symptom." Shout out to you, Great Black Reset.
It's kind of like
I hope you get a flat.
The New Yorkers would appreciate this. The New Yorkers will appreciate this. But it's kind of like if Derek Jeter had started dating Lil Kim, like in the 90s.
Oh, my
exactly.
God.
You know what I mean? Like, that would have been crazy. Like, what are you doing, Derek? You're making us look bad out here as men. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Nah, but Derek Jeter was like, Derek Jeter like a president. Like I don't even think his team would have let that happen.
Yeah.
And if they did happen,
Derek Jeter was very buttoned down with his shit. When you could knock down, Mariah Carey and Jessica Biel, Jessica, whatever, all them, and come out of that scot clean. With no problem. This shit was tight, man, like Trump tight.
They run a tight ship over there.
Yeah, he worked for the Yankees.
I don't know what kind of team he had, man. Exactly. The Yankees held them down, man.
Yeah, they run a tight ship over there.
The Yankees cleanup team is crazy, man.
Yeah,
and then A-Rod with J-Lo too. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
they got yellow tape around shit and everything.
Shout out to the Great Black Reset. He say Brunk ain't ish, y'all. He say Brunk ain't ish. Hey,
Now, why
appreciate
you
the
have
Great
to
Black
read that?
Reset.
You should have
Appreciate
told his ass to come up here and read that super chat itself.
Uh-huh.
you. And I'm gonna say shout out to Positive Vibe. She says Meg still have options. And see, this is where I'm gonna say where it gets a little sad. Not really.
Why don't she?
Because nobody really want Meg, man. Meg is 31 years old. Meg is a former stripper, and Meg got a guy sitting in prison right now over a very shady scenario. Who's going to be with her?
Roger, you know how many niggas are
said
chasing
she
after
still have.
31-year-old former strippers with a baby daddy in jail?
Well, that's why I said not really. Somebody will take it, but who gonna take it?
Yeah.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Yeah,
She made a huge mistake by going public with their break. Because
Yeah, she
had she
messy.
been cool, if she had not been messy, some other high status dude, I still care for. This is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. I'm sorry it didn't work out with Clay. I still care for him, and I wish the best for him, and I hope everything, and I love his family, and I, hope I see. That's what you do. Why do you do that? Because even if you don't give a damn about Clay, the next high value dude that might be interested might give you some play.
There you go. Bring your value up.
Look. The last
Yeah.
3 boyfriends she had, all of it ended bad. The last 3 public boyfriends that she had, the Fontaine guy, Tory Lanez, and now Klay Thompson. So the next guy is about to run to her so they could be the next one of these 3 guys. Come on.
yeah.
She still has options, but she ain't got a lot of them. Pookie and Ray will definitely use.
Yeah, everybody technically has
You
options
know
because people in the world.
who will get with her. You know who will get with her. Some young fool about 19, 20 years old coming off of Inglewood in Chicago trying to make his come up in the rap game. That's the guy who's gonna get with her. That's the guy who's gonna get with her.
The guy with the hot mixtape.
Hey,
The guy with the
Roger.
mixtape.
If he want to follow behind his father's footsteps, she's kind of getting old up there. She's getting up there with age. If he wanted to have 3 boys, she's kind of like getting, aging out the game.
Well, I knew she wasn't gonna make it when they first announced it. I already knew this was just a period of time. But that's how you do sometimes. Sometimes as a guy, I'm gonna mess with her for the summer. I'm gonna mess with her till I go off to school. I'm gonna mess with her till I gotta go to the military. You know what I'm saying? We do that as men from time to time. And I don't know what his measurement was, but obviously Clay was just on, so I'm gonna mess with her probably for a such and such time. Now I'm not saying he didn't lose no bet. I just don't have no proof that he lost a bet. So I'm joking about that, but I would not be shocked if it was a real thing. Like if it come out later that Clay actually lost the bet, had the data for a year, I wouldn't even be surprised. Real talk.
Well, he
And shout out
shouldn't.
to
Them
If
NBA
that's the
players, them
case, he
NBA
better
players,
not
some
let that come
assholes,
out in
man.
public.
He definitely lost the bet.
That you keep that a secret though. Don't come out with that. You know what I mean?
now, shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. He says 31 years old, a reputation damage risk. Who's buying? Yeah, the guy who don't have a name, but he got a hot mistape, and he from O-Block.
Trying to make her come up in the game.
Yeah.
Russell
Well,
Wilson took Ciara with 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Who just years of that?
No, she only had
she only
one
had
kid
one.
with
She had one.
those other
Yeah.
kids are
Future?
Russell's. Those other children are Russell's.
Okay.
And she had her body count is it ain't low. So it's I'm telling you, man, you wishful
Yeah, she
thinking,
used to hit
man.
me in my inbox on tag back in the day.
If you look at Sierra and you look at Meg Thee Stallion, Sierra is a much more refined woman than than
Meg Thee Stallion.
Meg Thee Stallion, which was why people were surprised when Sierra got with Future to begin with, because even though she had done her little stuff, she never presented herself as just an all-out hoe type. That's not the same thing with this Meg Thee Stallion character.
Yeah. She came in the door hole first. You got to remember that. She came in the door hole first. She was, you know what I mean? She used the fact that she was a former stripper. I mean, she used it in the music at the end of the day. That's how she promotes herself, as the ultimate hoe. And I'm a real hoe. I ain't gonna let these men run all over me. I ain't gonna let these men control me. I'm a run something, because I am that hoe. You know, that's who she chose to be in the music game. So at the end of the day, I think again we get stuff a little mixed up, because you cannot solve a problem that you do not address. And the issue is that women aren't high value. In order to be a high value woman, you pretty much gonna have to marry a man and show him that you actually are a valuable woman. You gotta be there for the kids that you have with him. You gotta take care of the home that he puts you in. You gotta show that you support whatever dreams he got going on, or whatever job he's dealing with, or whatever the case is. In order to be a high value woman, it pretty much takes a man. You know, women just out here being on their own, doing what they want to do. These are low value women, but everybody wants to pretend they have actual high value. They don't.
Well, that's why I say the real loser in this situation is Klay, because that make him look bad messing with a low value woman like that. She won because now he kind of brought her value up to where she could say, "Yeah, I get high value men."
That's how women think. Yeah, women gonna see her as she won, but who cares what they think? As men, don't nobody care what Klay did with her. And truth be told, if he meets a high value woman, it ain't like she gonna be like, "Well, nah, I ain't gonna mess with him because he used to mess with Meg." That's not gonna happen to him.
Wait, don't Klay work? Wait, what team Klay play for right now?
He plays for Dallas right now.
For Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, and she a Texas girl, so it had to have been some kind of agreement in there somewhere. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't be surprised that I honestly believe it was somewhere.
Well, I'll say this. I think if he could have worked things out with Golden State, I don't think he ever gets anywhere near Meg Thee Stallion.
Exactly.
I do believe that.
Nope.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I will say my honest belief is that he want to hit it, but she's a public figure at this particular point, so he had to construct some kind of deal, because she want to let him hit it, but she don't want to quote unquote discipline her fans, because she's a public figure with a career. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the top women of the rap game, so she don't want her career damaged. So what do? You say, okay, well, look, we're gonna mess with each other. We're gonna do a public thing for about a year.
Have you seen Klay's history? I mean, he's got a pretty damn good. He's had a pretty damn good run of talent, man. I mean, this ain't some guy. He's had some little starlets in his album. You know so
what it is, Uru?
I mean, we're supposed we have to think that he was so mystified by Meg Thee Stallion that he would risk his image and his reputation on her. I don't see that.
He was
That's not what I'm saying at all.
He was going through a midlife crisis. I'm telling you, he was feeling down on himself, and he was.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been the move.
Dark place.
It could have been the disruption. He could have been very upset about what happened with Golden State because he really wanted to stay there. So it could have been that. I mean, I could see if he had some kind of momentary psychic or emotional break and just say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna try to wild out for a minute because I'm pissed off about having to leave the Warriors." I guess I could kind of see that, but I don't believe this thing where Klay is willing to just intentionally risk his image and his reputation just to hit Meg Thee Stallion. And by the way, I don't believe that Meg Thee Stallion wouldn't have fucked Klay under the terms that he wanted to fuck her under.
Exactly.
I think Klay could have just appeared and said, I want to hit, and she would have been down. I don't, you know what I mean? When you consider her history, I'm supposed to think she's going to hold him to a higher standard than she held the baby?
No,
I don't believe that.
What I'm saying is, I think it probably was a team thing. You know, Klay wanted to hit. She wanted to let him hit. I'm not even saying she didn't want to let him hit. But, you know, somebody probably just came to her on the team and was like, look, man, if y'all going to do this, we need to have this happen for Meg. And he probably just like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? He probably just did. It wasn't that big a deal. We just don't want Meg to be out here where you hit it, and then you done with her the next night. We don't want that storyline to run. Because y'all know how people was going to do if that would have been the story.
Right.
And shout out to Irvin Reed. He said a 304 don't want to come across as a 304. Nothing new there, Roger. that's all I think it was.
Okay, so Roger, you do realize that in the entertainment business in Hollywood, folks are fucking all over the place, and we never see and hear about it. Yep. Men to women, women to women, men to men. So, I mean, you do know that probably everybody done hit everybody in Hollywood from like probably age 17 to age 97. Like, really?
I totally get you.
And across sports, I mean, Will Chamberlain was hitting everybody. Will Chamberlain hit everybody. You know, everybody. You know, so I mean, I don't think it would have been an issue with him just having to say, hey, because he's a tall, good-looking, light-skinned dude. What tall, good-looking, light-skinned rich dude can't hit everybody?
I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm saying it probably was somebody on Megan's team that was like, hey, we want this done. And he might have just agreed because it's going to help her. It ain't like it was going to do anything for him. That's what I'm saying. He probably just didn't care. But for her, it's a good chance to say, hey, I'm with Klay Thompson.
It's not consistent with his history, though, because he's never been out there like that. He's never been out there like that. It's been a lot of holes rap holes he could have ran into over the last 10 or 12 years since he's been on.
Okay,
that's the kind of guy he was.
So basically, you saying he lost the bet then? Because I don't know what else to say. Because
I definitely think. I mean, I don't know if it was a bet, but I definitely think there was some external force. I'll put it that way. Yeah. There was some external force. Y'all can call it a bet. Somebody can call it a deal. Somebody can call it coercion. Somebody can call it the Secret Service. Whatever the hell. Something happened.
Yeah, somebody had something on Klay to make him put up with this for a period of time. Now I'm trying to be, somewhat realistic to say, maybe Klay was just being nice to give her some light. He was just being nice. It could have been nothing more than that. They could have just made appearances. Klay could have been messing with other women. They just appeared together to make it seem like something. You do the Thanksgiving meal and you make a public affair of the Thanksgiving meal. Yeah, just some PR stuff. Shout out to Patrick saying he say Rock Nation PR. Well, I ain't saying it was Rock Nation PR, but it could have definitely been some PR. That's all I'm saying. And shout out to Landon. He say Megan the male. Megan the male. I'm pretty sure you meant to say horse. It say male house, but pretty sure you meant to say male horse. Was just a tempo confidence. Or I guess you mean to get temporary confidence. And I mean, honestly, Klay ain't got no real reason to be with her outside of losing the bet and he a man of his word, or he just did somebody a favor. But again, to me, it's just a celebrity example of what happens when you deal with women. The average man gonna deal with a woman who's of low value. You know what I'm saying? We talking about black folks now. You're gonna deal with a woman who's low value. You're gonna eventually assess that she is low value, and you're gonna get rid of that woman who's I can't say they get rid of because black men ain't gonna break up with nobody. We got to be real about that, okay? But the thing is, you come to the assessment. Well, I'm saying majority though. The average black man is not gonna get rid of anybody, which is a definitely a failure piece of black men. But the thing is, you assess the woman, you come to the conclusion she truly is of low value, and then you start treating her different, and she's gonna start getting upset about it. She's gonna start doing stuff. To me, Meg Thee Stallion is just a celebrity case of this. Her taking that diss at Klay Thompson that she did not have to take. It's just, hey, that's who she is as a person. And it kind of is attached to her being a low value person, which is why I'll say something like this in public, and make a post about it. When all she had to do was keep her mouth shut, or eventually at some point say, yeah, me and Klay was together, but we parted ways a while back, and just left it undefined. It don't take much.
Roger, this woman, right? She said that this NBA player who's playing in the NBA, he's going through he's been he had to change teams. He's kind of struggling a little bit in his career, and he's on a new team. So when a woman's supposed to be there to support him, he's having mood swings. She doesn't know that she's supposed to love him through that and supposed to help him with his mood swings. That this man has got a little bit of pressure on him, but are you just she's where's the support when the man is going through something? You need to be there. That what makes a good woman. That's kind of woman who's gonna get married. The woman that's gonna work with a man who's going through something. Because it's not like the man ain't doing nothing. The man is working hard trying to keep his career going.
Well,
And
black. We don't
understand
get no
that's
privileges.
terrible. That's terrible PR for black women. Black women who aspire to be with prosperous, hardworking black men. It's disastrous PR for them
Yeah,
because
a man under
we
pressure.
know
Yeah.
the white we know the white woman ain't gonna do that. We know the Latina ain't gonna do that. We know the Asian woman ain't gonna do that. They might feel all kinds of ways in private. They do not do that publicly. And the thing is, productive men, particularly those who multi-generational productivity, they all know that kind of stuff. They've all been trained in what a woman is supposed to do to support them. So the reason why I'm thinking he must have gotten coerced into dealing with her, because Klay would have to know that this was going to happen. He would have, like I say, his father played in the NBA. His father played for the Lakers, for Christ's sake. They know all about hoes and the tricks of hoes and all that.
And
None
Uber,
of
you
this
know
is new to him
they
and to
get
the circle
classes
of
on that
people
stuff too.
that he's been around his whole life. Yeah, but I'm saying he was raised in the culture of the NBA. He was raised in, his dad played with Magic fucking Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for Christ's sake. So he gotta know. He gotta be up on game. So for him to get with her, I agree, Shark. It must have been some kind of extortion of some sort.
Yeah.
It had to be. It had to be. It had to be. And then Luca gets traded around this time. So what? Clay starts dating Megan Thee Stallion a few months after the Luca trade too, and that didn't make sense.
And,
This is
and
some NBA conspiracy bet that they lost, man.
and I will say, real talk. I mean, I appreciate what Tony Run is saying, but I don't believe nothing Meg said. I don't believe nothing about him going through mood swings. He's been playing basketball a long time now. It ain't like he a rookie. This is not no rookie. This man has won championships. Now, Dallas didn't just have the best season. I get all that. But what is Megan Thee Stallion going to do to make him feel better? And he actually has real concern about losing a game here or there. Like, if that's really where he was, Megan ain't the type of person that's going to help him.
Well,
Let's be real.
To her defense, he's a
everything she could have said about him is true. He was with Golden State for what, 14 years. He wanted to re-up with Golden State. They wouldn't give him the deal that he felt he deserved to get, especially after they had given Draymond a deal he frankly did not deserve to get. So you're pissed. So you got to go to fucking Dallas from Golden State. and you go, you championship, everybody love me. Now I got to go down to Dallas. This ain't my home. This ain't my place. I might not even know shit about Dallas. And then he got an injury not long after being down there. So he very likely was fucked up in the head during some period of time, dealing with all of that. That is perfectly normal. And here's the thing, a righteous woman would know that, understand that, appreciate that, and do everything possible to accommodate for that. That's what a righteous woman would do. And only, frankly, some bitchy black woman would go public with it. No other group of women would go public with it. No, you don't ever hear about any of these other women going public with that kind of thing. Not ever.
Not ever, ever, ever.
Now, y'all, we gonna get a mic until we got a new guest coming up. We got the return. We have Grand Region Thrag is in the building. It is his return after I read the super chat. Super chat just came in. Shout out to No Placeholder. He said Klay likes Keisha too. A lot of closet Keisha lovers. Okay. Look, ain't nobody gonna argue if he like a black woman. Most men like the women that he would be compared to. Most of us like the women we would be compared to. So us, that would be black women. I'm not saying he don't like black women, but at the end of the day, she just didn't have a chance. That's all. She just didn't have a chance. She may have tried her best, but she still hurt. I'm gonna say that she may have tried her best, but she still hurt.
He did not say black women. He said Keisha. Keisha is a subset of black women. So he's making a particular message about Klay's sexual value system here, which could be part of the problem. Could have been what part of the problem is here. Could have been. I'm not saying it is or not. But he's not talking about black women. He's talking about Keisha.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Urban Reed. He said Klay not making her his baby mama tax. And you know what? That's where the rubber hits the road. And at the end of the day, y'all, as black men, sure, we're going to deal with some low value women. But a lot of us, we only gonna go to a certain point. And if you keep messing with her, yeah, she could come up pregnant. So guess what? She got to go. You done had your little shine. You got to be with me for this little period of time. It's time to pack your bags and leave. It is what it is. And because Megan Thee Stallion is who she is, I think he made a great choice to get rid of her. It's that simple to me. I don't see how you can go wrong by getting rid of Megan Thee Stallion. That roll off the tongue real easy. Get rid of Megan Thee Stallion. Sounds like a great idea. Okay? Sounds like a great idea. But let's get a flow to Grand Region Thrag. You got the building, my brother. You got the mic, my brother. You got the mic.
I'm back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Time serves.
Happy Tuesday to everybody.
You know it's Monday, right?
Oh, I'm Thrag, so I'm from Viltrum, so I don't know what time it is. I just popped up. But I served my time and I'm a free man now. You're not gonna like me though. You're still not gonna like me. Chef Mike, put the gun down. I can see it. Everybody put the gun down. I'm nice today. I'm nice. I'm nice. All right.
Now,
Put the guns down. Put the guns
and
down.
real quick, y'all. If y'all are new here and you watching this, if you like what we're doing here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. You're gonna have literally the best show on social media available to you. All you got to do is show up. Don't wait on no notifications, none of that. All you got to do is show up 9 a.m. Chicago time. Not where you live, Chicago time. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Doing my opening statement. Really?
Had to. I'll explain to you later.
All right. No problem. But let me get to this topic, okay? My problem with homie is that he made her the main chick. That's supposed to be the chick that you cheat on your main chick with, but he made her the main. Now she's complaining about cheating on. About being cheated on. I'm scratching my head. I'm like, you're supposed to be the secret normally, but I don't know what happened to homie. He felt some type of about a wop and decided for some probably some media reason because I believe there's a whole lot of media reason as to why he would be seen in public with something like this, but that's just me. And also today I got time, 4 p.m. roundtable. Last time I argued against it, now I'm gonna argue for it. Pull up on me. Hot sauce, show yourself. Elder, you're invited. Chef Mike, pull up on me. Everybody,
Oh my goodness, boy.
4 p.m. All right, I got time today.
All
Thank you.
right. All right. Now I'm gonna say, look, when it comes down to it, y'all, I don't believe that Klay Thompson cheat on her at all. Again, the post she made said cheating, then talked about his family. If he actually cheated, I'm pretty sure she would have went into some level of detail about the fact that he's an actual cheater. She just put the word cheating. And see, the thing is, we as black men, we believe so much nonsense that women say gets us into a lot of trouble. And I mean, truth be told, if Klay cheated on her, I wouldn't even care because number one, she Meg the Stallion again, former stripper. Okay, you got Tory Lanez in a real questionable position right now because he locked up, and I do believe it's her fault. Okay, if you gonna cheat on anybody, this would be the one to do it to. Now I ain't recommending nobody cheat, but if you gonna cheat, because I believe in being honest, but if you're going to cheat, why not Megan? Yeah,
Okay,
that
but
You know, you
okay,
know what? I think she cheated. I
let's talk
think she
about
Do,
cheated,
cheating.
Roger.
Let's talk about
do you
cheating.
guys know how this story became a story? Apparently, the girl that Clay was hitting was talking about it in social media and was being quite audacious about it and detailed about it and was being spiteful to Meg the Stallion in the in so doing. And the really interesting part about it is, and this is kind of interesting given Clay's background. Apparently, it's a WNBA player whose father also played in the NBA. So it's a multi-generational NBA deal and shit.
so Meg ain't got a shot. Then that's what you basically saying. Meg ain't got a shot.
So yeah, apparently some girl who plays in the NBA, her father, somewhat famous. I won't say any names. You can look it up. It's probably easy to get. But her father was somewhat famous. Had a particular achievement that those of us of a certain age will remember. Um, and apparently she made a point of kind of styling on having fuck Megan's man, and that's supposedly is the impetus for this whole thing.
Was this a black woman too?
Yep, yep,
But sound like
yep,
she
yep,
let
yep.
Megan know that she ain't got no man. You just
Let's
don't
let,
know it
Mm,
yet.
let's
man,
let's talk about cheating. How can he cheat on a woman who's not his wife? You're just a placeholder. No pun intended.
Right.
You're just you're just here.
That's a
You're part
valid.
of the roster.
That's a valid
You're part of a
point.
roster. You're part of a roster. That's it. He touched down in Houston, and he got another Megan waiting on him to ride on. Pun intended.
All right. Now shout out to Landon. He said at Thrag, tell Invincible he punched like a bish. I'm gonna say a bish. Not, and I'm gonna say yes. There is a point. Some people say it don't even count as cheating until you're actually married. Now I'm gonna say also there's people who count before it's married, but at the end of the day, you're Meg the Stallion. You are never gonna win. Okay, there's just sometimes. Look, I'm not saying nobody shouldn't believe in themselves. I'm never gonna say that. You should believe in yourself. But there's some things that you really ain't got no business believing in yourself about. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta learn how to get out the way. Real talk. And again, with Meg the Stallion being who she is, how can you even feel sorry for anything going on with her? Because again, you're a former stripper. Okay. Now you got lucky enough to get a good rap career going because she big in rap. So you should be making some money. Your life should be pretty cool. But you marrying a second generation NBA player like this shouldn't even be. Why even waste your time trying? That's all I'm saying. Why even waste your time trying? You
Hey,
made out
Roger.
good. You a former stripper that got
Well,
rich.
no,
You had a good life.
Roger.
it's a win. It's a win-win for her. It's total win-win for her. Even with the way this thing is blown up, she'll be able to use it to garner sympathy from women, and she'll probably be dogging out Klay in her next album, and the bitches will buy it because she's dogging out a blackish dude. So she it's a win-win for her.
Okay.
She could have had it would have been a better win for her had she either accepted that's what he was doing and continue to play the charade, or again, if you're going to end the relationship, do it on a positive note so that other potential plays think a little bit better of
And shout out
And
to Nightfall
Roger,
Drop.
I think
Hold on.
Cardi B was helping her.
Real quick. Hold on. Shout out to Nightfall Drop. He says Megan Clay can come from totally different stratas in life. The relationship had no shot of working. And he also said that's facts, which I actually agree with. I just didn't see any chance of this thing working at all. Go ahead, turn around.
I said she's probably following Cardi B, and Cardi B was telling her, I got this rapper, I ain't shit, and I still got him, and I told him I don't cook and clean, and I still got this ring. So she's probably following behind Cardi B, and didn't understand what she had to do to be to hold down a man, a successful man. It ain't easy. It ain't easy trying to make things that happen if you don't know how to handle your business in and outside of the bedroom.
Meg has had a good life that she should just be happy for. Number one, you was a stripper. So you already on the lowest of the low just about. Then you became a rapper and somebody actually took interest in you. They put you in a position to have a rap career. You've made a bunch of money. Man, at the end of the day, you won. You are a former stripper that became a very successful rapper. You won in life. Why even worry about being with somebody like Klay that you're probably never going to get? Now, I'm not saying this to condemn Megan. I'm just being realistic. You're a former stripper. Tory Lanez is in prison right now. I wouldn't even talk to you if I was in these people position because Tory Lanez is in prison right now. And I really do believe it's kind of her fault. So at the end of the day, she won. Just take your victory and roll with it. See, and that's what I'm saying. Most of us, we don't identify a real problem. Most black women are going through some form of low value rage, but we don't look at them as doing that. So we don't see them as a problem. And you cannot fix a problem that you can't see. At the end of the day, Meg is not even supposed to have gotten to where she got to. And that's real talk. She should have never been able to date a Klay Thompson. So who cares if Klay dumped you? You lucky that you even got in the room. And shout out to Bruce on Wayne. He says, didn't even feel them punches. Hashtag no hot sauce. Hashtag all my hoes are monetized. Hashtag Dessalines lives on. Right? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. And also, we got one from Inspired Truth Broadcast. He says, Uru is right tax. She should have played it clean. And I do agree with that. She definitely should have played it clean, which would have gave her a much better chance for getting somebody else behind Klay Thompson. But I don't think that's she would have had the best chances anyway, but it definitely would have helped her had she been positive about it and just said we decided to go our separate ways and call it a day. She had to mention nothing about cheating or anything else. Now, if Klay Thompson did cheat on her with the daughter of an NBA player and she's in the WNBA, it's hard for me to even see where Klay is making a bad decision. You know?
What's the name? What's the name of the guard for Cleveland? The Cavaliers. I think he was in Utah originally. Good player, really good player.
He played for the Cavaliers, huh?
No, he plays for the Cavaliers now. He's a star player. He's a star player for the Cavaliers now. Well, anyway.
Mitchell.
Donovan
Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. Okay. So now Klay dated Coco Jones. They dated for over a year. Then they broke up. Maybe he cheated on her. Maybe she cheated. Whatever. We don't even know. Now Coco is engaged to Donovan Mitchell. Now, because we did not hear Coco bitching about whatever the hell happened between her and Klay, Donovan can safely and quietly date her and then possibly even marry her. See what? But here's the thing about Coco Jones. Her father played in the NFL. She know the rules. She's raised up in the game. You know, high value men exercise their options. She was raised up in that. So just be quiet, be nice, be pretty, and another train will come along. See, that's what happens when a woman's been raised right. Now we're seeing what happens with Meg Thee Stallion, with a woman who has not been raised right. Because if you're pretty and you're quiet and you're nice, there's another train coming.
So Black Guru was saying that maybe Klay Johnson looking at the genealogy or the upbringing of another woman, and maybe he said, Megan Thee Stallion's parenthood, it seems like she might have had a father that was locked up, and a mother that was kind of doing the rap game. So he was just looking to see what's going to be the future value of my children.
No. Klay was doing what he has been doing since he's been on the scene. He's been going through hoes, pretty hoes, very nice hoes, little starlets and actresses and all that kind of shit. She was just, all she had to do was just, okay, but my turn is over. Now let me, kind of clean this up in such a way in which, that there's no negative fallout from it.
Yeah,
a woman that was raised a certain way would know to do that.
Yeah.
And see,
a woman who was raised a certain way would know to do that.
They're doing the same.
Protect the brand.
They're doing the same things us regular people do. We just know about theirs because they're celebrities. Who dealing with the hoe who been messing with all the dudes and won't shut up about it? Who dealing with her? We do the same thing. Everybody was young once. You was in the neighborhood. Your chick that was on the block that talked too much, you avoid her. It's that simple. She ain't gonna keep her mouth shut. So you just avoid her. It's simple as that. You know that sometimes you're in a neighborhood where you got some people that's, their family's doing a little bit weller than other people's family, and you have to respect a girl who comes from a home, daddy's in the home, he don't play about his daughters and all that type of stuff. You don't treat those girls the same way you would treat other girls. It just is what it is. And Meg, even though she became a rapper after becoming a stripper, and she's been able to get in certain places that normally a stripper wouldn't get into, it don't change who she is as a person. She's still acting like a ghetto broad, per se. I mean, you was being featured during the election, and you got on the stage twerking. You know, she is who she is.
See, women know. Women know. Smarter women know. Well-raised women know. Once you get to a certain level, you can stay at that level. And the best way you stay at that level is to keep your fucking mouth shut. Because you've been validated by that prior high status man. There are some people will look better at you because you were with Klay. And you played by the rules in a nice way. So yeah, Klay did what he did, whatever with the NBA, WNBA player or whatever. That don't mean you go running your mouth, because you still have value through your association with that dude. You don't want to taint that. You don't want to tank that. You want to keep that up high, so that the next dude you encounter, he's viewing you up high, and not in some low down type shit.
Yep.
But you would have to know your place. And a lot of people got a problem with stuff like that. Even the phrase "know your place" pisses people off.
Yeah,
But it's a reality out here in the world about what your place actually is.
And she calls herself a staunch feminist. So feminists don't like that. Know your place. Some of these strong feminists do not want to hear that.
If you watch the Jimmy Fallon interview, you can see how she thinks about that. You can see how she thinks about, playing her position. She believes I'm Megan Thee Stallion. To me, I'm the prize. So yeah, I can definitely see how she's just not the type of woman to move correctly in that situation.
Which is why
definitely
Klay
would have benefited her.
never really had any. Which is why Klay never should have gotten with her to begin with.
Just feeling.
And I'm sure some people would have advised him not to.
Yeah, she messy. I mean, the media itself, just the whole Tory Lanez situation would have advised him not to do it, right? Man.
And I'm gonna say the reason I put that interview with Jimmy Fallon in there, you got enough right there by itself to understand why not to talk to Megan Thee Stallion. You don't have to even bring up she used to be a stripper. You ain't got to say nothing about Tory Lanez. You ain't got to say nothing about her twerking on stage during the presidential election season. There's a whole lot of stuff you don't even have to bring up. Just look at the interview. And this is a Tonight Show interview. This is not like where they go to get, they're not looking for a specifically illicit content or something like that, or they're not necessarily trying to have shock value go on and all that. It's just a place to get a nice interview to promote projects and things like that. It's not it ain't like it's the Howard Stern show. You know what I'm saying? It's the Tonight Show. They're not looking for salacious stuff. They're just looking for you to promote your stuff because you got a movie coming out. You got a TV series that you're about to do. You got a documentary you're about to drop. You just wrote a book or something. You just been elected something. So it ain't even that type of place. But that interview on the Tonight Show alone is like, why would you touch a woman like that? This woman, this character decides that I'm just gonna mess up everybody's day. I see myself in her. What? So I'm supposed to date a woman like that, and I got money too? That just make it worse. Cause I'm broke. I mean, in comparison to them, I'm broke. I ain't nowhere near what no Klay Thompson is. And I hear a woman say, yeah, this particular woman wakes up and just trying to find a way to destroy everybody's day or something. and I see myself in her, I want nothing to do with that lady. Now, if I'm worth over $100 million, I really don't want nothing to do with that lady. So she promotes herself as why no one should date her, period. So that's why I don't even. So for the people who see this as a big deal, now she should have never been there in the first place. And that's what the real thing is.
The author, the original creator and author of Sex and the City, admitting to regretting what she had written. That it gave a false image of freedom, sexual liberation, and freedom of relationships and whatever. And she herself, I think she never married or whatever, and she laments never having a family, never get married. The creator of Sex and the City. Look it up. The creator of Sex and the City regrets what she created.
And you want to know the ill part about that?
This is just how ignorant. Yeah.
The ill part about it is she ain't did another interview since. They cut her ass all the way off when she said.
Yeah.
She said
no,
that.
the feminists ain't gonna let that. No, we can't. We can't. That's too much truth. We can't let that. Yeah. Yeah. That's too much truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
they
even
just talk themselves out of more and more opportunities and more and more good things, man. That's why I say they don't need no electricity.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying they just talk themselves out of more and more stuff. They don't. You can't have a black woman around electricity.
Yeah, you know, speak to what Uru was saying. You know, the creator of second wave feminism. I think the lady's name was Betty Friedman or Betty Friedman. She wrote a book called The Feminine Mystique or something like that. That kind of pushed second wave feminism. But the women at the time didn't even know they didn't like their life until she told them that they didn't. So there was even a lot of psychological manipulation in order to sell that entire way. So that entire thought process was marketed strategic for a change.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever watched cows? They're just cows, man. I mean, they're just a herd. It just moves in herds, man. If you move one cow in a direction, you move the whole damn herd of cows in that same direction. It's just all herd-like mentality. One person, if one cow is strong enough in will to communicate a particular messaging or direction, the rest of the cows flow right along with that shit without even asking questions.
Man.
Yeah. Now, shout out to Music Man 1982. He say Klay left because the box swap was trash. Okay. Well, maybe she ain't had that wop she thought she had. But I mean, I'm gonna say that's maybe part of the reason why he left. Because again, you know, I'm not as psychic, y'all. As soon as I knew they was dating, I knew he was leaving at some point. I knew that. You know, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion is dating Klay Thompson. My first thought, oh, that's coming to an end. You know, what are you doing that for? You know, that those are the type of thoughts I was having. What are you doing that for?
Well, you smart. You smarter than I must be the dumbest nigga in the earth because I thought she hit the jackpot and she was gonna have her stuff together and she was gonna act correct. But
I mean, she is who she is, and I'm not saying people can't change. I'm saying I've seen no evidence that she's changed.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Now, if she can get with another guy and she actually gets another shot, and she's doing stuff like the Thanksgiving dinner, but that's done more on a regular basis. See, now I can say, well, maybe she was changing when she was messing with Klay, and that's why she's super salty, because it takes other people longer to see your change than for you to see your own. You see your change when you decided.
The only The only way you might think she's changing is she starts dating a guy, a behind the scenes guy, and she comes off of social media, off of all media, all that shit, and really just kind of focus on that relationship. Then you might think she's trying to change. But if it's the next celebrity and the next photo ops and all of that, it's just the same old shit.
What's the saying that the rich people use? Don't cash their pearl before swine. She'll never make it with an NBA player, a man with some value. Because look at the background. Mom was a hustler. Dad was a hustler. But she got that hustler mentality. The street niggas. Street niggas are ruled to self-destruct all the time.
Now,
She don't have.
now Brian Ingram is dating Glorilla, right? Brian Ingram's a forward for the now that seems like, just from a distance, it actually seems like a real relationship. Because here's the thing, whenever you see them together, they both seem to be genuinely happy together. It's not the stank face that Klay does with Megan. And Glorilla ain't all making a big ass production about being with Brian Ingram. Even though Brian Ingram is an NBA star, that kind of thing. She's treating him like that's her man and not some marketing tool. See, there's a way you can do this kind of thing, even as a female celebrity. But is it real? And is it real for both you and that man?
Tell me it's real. The feeling that we feel.
What's his name? The receiver for the Steelers. He's with that singer, beautiful girl. Seemed to be a real relationship. What's the receiver for the Steelers? He used to play for Seattle. He played with Seattle a couple years ago.
DK.
Yeah, Metcalf. He's with one of these. Yeah, he's with one of these pretty, black female singers. Seemed like a legitimate couple. Not a whole lot of fanfare, not a lot of social media and photo ops and all that kind of bullshit. So these can be real relationships, but you get with the former stripper who kind of makes a point of advertising, how many men who've been through there. It's a different kind of thing.
Absolutely. And shout out to Landon. He said Megan had that flop, not that wop. That flop. And a shout out to Music Man 1982. He said Meg will become a divester because she's ran through. Look, bro. She may dream of that. But that's a hard claim that's a hard thing for any sister to do. I'm just gonna say that. It's a hard thing for any sister to do. I think Megan is being a normal black woman. Again, y'all, this is just a celebrity couple doing what normal black folks do. A woman is trying to get with a man of value because her value is going to be low. In order for a woman to have high value, she's got to kind of do it in context to a man. And at the end of the day, you can be raised properly and all that type of stuff, which is going to, of course, give you a better shot. But to be considered a high value woman, it's going to be what is your relationship to really your husband. And unfortunately, for the average black woman, especially right now, they think they're a high value woman and they are of low value. They don't even have the makings to be a high value woman. And then truth is, they don't even like the ideal of it because in order to be a high value woman, you have to serve a man. Now that's a whole different thing in itself. So do they even want to be a high value woman? It's one thing for you to say, I'm a high value woman and won't nobody marry you. I can call myself a Chevy, but if I go to a car lot, ain't nobody finna buy me. You know, it is what it is. So I think we got to really start identifying the real problem. I think Megan got a chance that she probably shouldn't even got, and she just didn't make it happen. And when you in the seat, it's on you to make it happen. I said this example many times, y'all. Tom Brady was never meant to be who Tom Brady was. Tom Brady was backing up a pretty good quarterback. Okay, one of the top quarterbacks in the league at the time. He go down with an injury. Tom Brady got put in for so he can, rest up and get healthy. And Tom Brady just never let the seat go. Once you're in the seat, you're in the seat. And what you do in the seat is on you. So I'm going to say Megan should have never really got into the seat in the first place. But once she got in that seat, if she couldn't do what she needed to do, that's on her. You was in a seat you should have never been in, and you didn't take advantage of it. That's your own fault. That's real talk. Okay? Sometimes you got to make a shake for what you got.
How you know she didn't deserve, and you know how you know she didn't deserve to be in that seat? About her when she made a point of complaining about his struggle. Now, any woman who gets with a high-level professional athlete, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, particularly emotional ups and downs because of injuries and losses and trades and money. It's a very stressful life, in a lot of ways. Now, obviously, a lot of money is fame, status, whatever. So, there's some very high highs, and there's some very low lows. So when you get with a professional athlete, as a woman, you're supposed to be prepared to accept and deal and bear the brunt of that. But Brunson, the player for the Knicks, he was second round draft pick. He thought he should have been a first round draft pick. Barely kind of got on the Mavericks roster, stayed on, had a good playoff series here or there, then went and signed with the Knicks, and the rest is history. Well, the little white girl he was with, they go back to high school. So she went through all those ups and downs. She went through all those ups and downs with him.
Yeah, and shout out to No Placeholder. He said, divest her. And Jimmy Fallon was terrified of her. And Megan's a pretty good sized woman too. So she tried that divest her route, more power to her. That's a pretty healthy girl to be a divester. That's all I'm saying. That's a pretty
Rob, you think she like a pretty baby D.
Yeah, because Megan she's not the smallest person, so she got to be around 200 pounds or something. 200 pounds, maybe even plus woman. I don't think she's that short. So, good luck to the white boys. That's all I can say. Good luck if she decides to try to go in that direction. But at the end of the day, y'all, again, to me, it's about you got to recognize what the problem is. She a low value woman. She got into a position to be with a high value man, and she just didn't take advantage of it. Now, if Klay out there, quote unquote, cheating on her, I mean, I'm never gonna promote cheat because I don't promote being a liar. But if you gonna cheat, well, Meg is a former stripper. Meg was twerking during the election time, even though I wasn't a come out supporter myself. But it's like, man, why would you be twerking during the election season? And you don't say the best stuff. You're not making a good case for yourself in interviews. As far as I'm concerned, you're the main reason that Tory Lanez got locked up for something he shouldn't have got locked up for. If I gotta pick a person that should get cheated on, yeah, Meg will fit that. So I ain't got no sympathy. If she really got cheated on, I don't even care. Real talk. I ain't got nothing bad to say to Klay. bro, you should have been got out of there. That's all I can say. Because you never really should have been there in the first place. So you should have been got out of there. And if he done upgraded, more power to him. Now he at least with a woman. If the rumors are true, he at least with a woman who into the same stuff he into, such as basketball. I can live with that. I definitely can live with that one. And it is time for him to get a woman that's gonna be around once he's retired. Real talk. He's had a pretty good NBA career, but as we know, NBA careers don't last forever. All right. I think he's been in the league 14 years. It's time to think about wrapping it up. It is what it is. And I understand there's sports medicine out here. The league is not physically as rough, but this stuff ain't gonna last forever. So it is kind of time to start thinking about who you're gonna be with when your career is over with.
Yeah, but Roger, Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And we got Beat the Gut is in the house, y'all. Beat the Gut is in the house, so I'm gonna add him to the stage and let him get his 3 minutes in if you want to take that. What's going on, my man? We actually got more to the name, so let me give him a proper introduction. Shout out to Beat the Guts and Split the Butt. Good to have you here, sir. Good to have you here. You have the floor.
Spit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Beat the Guts and Spit in the Butt. You have the floor.
Hope everyone's doing well. It is 2 a.m. where I'm at. Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody. And I don't like the slander from Meg Thee Stallion. I mean, we gotta be consistent. Klay cheated. He didn't tell her he wanted a polyamorous relationship. So Meg Thee Stallion has every right to be upset. I understand the situations in the past to look at what's here right now, and now Clay's fault because he didn't marry at his level. I mean, he didn't pair up. He didn't pair back with his level. This man is a 4-time champion, Hall of Famer. He's on Jordan's level, right? So, he didn't pick a woman that was befitting for that type of lifestyle. He's NBA royalty, second generation NBA player, right? And people are criticizing him for bringing him around his mother, but you got to understand something. In that culture, it's normal to meet. It's not a big thing. It's not in the Black community where you don't bring someone around until you're absolutely sure. There, they have normal relationships with their parents. So parents have met every one of their boyfriends and girlfriends. So at the end of the day, Meg has been wrongly done, and I know her stuff is trash, but hey, I mean we gotta this nigga coming here disrupting. I mean, we gotta, you know what I mean? We gotta be honest. We gotta be keep our words, right? If we're against cheating, then we have to be on Megan's side, and I'll leave it there.
I just want to say, I know me personally, I've always said don't cheat. But when I was talking to people about cheating, everybody else wasn't so cool with it. So, they was a little more liberal about it. So, me, I still stick to don't cheat. But if you gonna cheat, that's the one to do it to. That's for sure. But we also got the Great Black Reset that came up, so I'm gonna let him get the mic. Go ahead, my brother.
Man, my man Hot Sauce made an appearance. So I had to come up and say what's up to my man Hot Sauce and say hello to everybody else on the panel. I'm a little busy today. But to say about Klay Thompson, man, shout out to Klay Thompson. I'm proud of that brother. He avoided the marriage trap while he's playing his career. I hope he retires before he thinks about getting married. And to Meg the Stallion, she messed this thing up. This man is at the end of his career. He getting ready to settle down, and he gave you a shot. Oh yeah, she definitely screwed this up. Definitely screwed this up. But I think most players need to follow the Derek Jeter model and the Klay Thompson model. Do not get married before your career is over with. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, it's unfortunate, but it's starting to seem like as a player, really shouldn't commit to no woman. I hate to say that because I do believe you're always better off if you get it done young and find the right person. But if you ain't found the right person and now you become a player, yeah, I don't know what to tell you because you need a woman who wants you when you're retired. And unfortunately, it seems like brothers are retiring and divorces is starting to get a little more connected. It shouldn't be the case, but that's what it seems like we're going to at the end of the day. So something people gonna have to think about. And shout out to Joe's. Joe says at least Brittany Reiner got the baby. Well, I'm gonna say I'm glad Klay ain't got one off her. I'm gonna say that.
Now, baby would ruin her career.
I don't know if she'll be the one to have the baby. I'll say that. I don't think she'll have the baby. So she may be full steam ahead. I don't think it'll be her if they actually had a baby. So she might be all right. No, but y'all, the thing is, women gonna do stuff once they have to face their own reality, and Meg got to face a reality that she's just not as valuable as she thought she was. So yeah, she gonna make posts like that, just like regular everyday women make posts. How many posts have y'all seen? You've been on social media and somebody saying some quote unquote cryptic stuff, and they talking about this, and they talking about that, and a man's supposed to do this, and a man ain't no good if he don't do this, and all. And we see all this type of stuff. Why? Because they really throwing shade at their ex-boyfriend. That's what they do. They may not put his name in it, but they throwing shade at the guy they just recently broke up with. It hurts to understand that you're not good enough for people. And that's a reality women have to deal with. They try to avoid it as best they possibly can. And even as men, we try to help them avoid it. But the truth is, for every relationship they get in, and it don't end in a marriage, they have to learn to accept that that's just another person that they wasn't good enough for.
Yeah, but Roger, we can't, so basically we're saying that Meg Thee Stallion got cheated on because he wasn't good enough. She wasn't good enough for Klay Thomas. Is that what we're saying? No,
I'm not saying that. I said when the day I found out they was together, they was gonna end up breaking up.
But what are we saying here? Is Meg Thee Stallion a victim or no?
I don't know that she's a victim because I don't know that she was cheated on. I don't even believe she was cheated on.
Well, Uru did say that the chick came out and was thrown in Megan Thee Stallion face. So if we're gonna be consistent, we gotta say she's the victim.
Yeah.
No, this is the thing.
Is it for victims?
Did she know? No, this is the thing. This is the thing. When was Meg Thee Stallion notified that Klay was gonna move on with somebody else? That's the question.
Roger, don't do that. Don't do
it. I'm saying I don't know that he cheated on her. And if he cheated on her, he cheated on her. I just don't know. I don't know the timeline of nothing going on with them. The only timeline I know is that when they announced that they was together, that they was gonna break up. That's the only thing I knew.
He cheated, bro. He cheated.
This is what I'm saying. If they confirm that he cheated, I accept that.
Fine. If it's confirmed that he cheated on her, is she the victim?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take Megan's word for it. Now if they say
if it's confirmed.
Yeah. And I said earlier, I don't promote cheating, period. So I don't agree that he should cheat on any woman. I don't believe in that. Period. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I can't have no sympathy for no woman who got another man in jail right now.
No, that's yesterday's shit. That's yesterday's shit. We can't be doing that. You're bringing up old shit.
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying I ain't got no sympathy for her anyway. If she was cheated on, I don't even care that it happened to her. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying it's right to cheat on her. I'm saying I don't care if he did. Just because I don't care don't mean it's right. And shout out to Gregory Scotland. Gregory says, "Hey, Roger, can you say that most women aren't as valuable as they think they are? I mean, they're always telling everyone that they are queens. No, what I'm saying is most of them ain't valuable too much at all. Most of them outside of a bodily function don't really have value.
No, that's cap.
No. Outside of having sex with a woman, which is a bodily function, most women do not have value.
Then most men don't have value. Then most people don't have value.
Hold on, because let's be realistic. Where does a woman value comes from? Her value comes from her being with a man, being loyal to a man, helping him do something in his life, contributing to having children for him, helping raise children properly, things like that. Most women are not going to do that.
That's not true. No. If we're talking about women's value to society, women's value to society is immense. And if you're going to say that women have no value to society, then the average man doesn't have any value to society.
No, that's not true. And the thing is,
very true.
No, it's not. And what I said was, for a woman to be valuable, she needs to have a husband that she's loyal to, have children, raise children properly, help him do something in his life. And most women ain't gonna do it.
So valuable to who or valuable to what?
To her husband and to the community.
Hold on, I can't. Hold on. Valuable to, because if you're saying that women are only valuable if they're married, that's just not true.
No, bro, we're literally doing a show where Megan Thee Stallion is upset she's no longer with Klay Thompson. It's pretty clear what we're talking about. And at the end of the day, I've been saying the whole show, Megan should have never got there in the first place. She should be just thankful she even got to sit in the seat. She got in the passenger side of Klay car. She should be happy she had a ride.
That's a class. That is a class issue, right? That's not a gender issue. That's
no, brother. She's not valuable, bro. Who would marry her?
Because that's the class. She's a hood rat.
I wouldn't marry her, and she rich.
Yeah, but she's a hood rat. That's the class issue. That's not a gender issue. Because for example,
I didn't say it's a gender issue, nor did I say it's a class issue. I say she does not have value. That's what I'm saying. She literally don't have, and a lot of women think they're valuable and they're not, which is why we don't marry them.
She does not have value to him, but she can have value to another man.
Absolutely, she could, and ain't no other man with her, which means permanently she doesn't have any.
No, she could have value. She could have value to you, Roger. If she on your show a couple of times and she reposts on Instagram, you out of the stratosphere.
Well,
everybody
if Roger
could have value, everybody could.
If Roger want to reclaim his rap career, she will be valuable to him.
Right, like you know what I mean? It's the point is she's trying out of her league. I agree with you there, but she can date inside her league and have value.
Possibly.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
I did not say she has no option at all. I ain't said she ain't got no option at all.
No, you said she has no value.
Most women don't actually have value. Men don't see them as valuable, and that's the reality.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem that they need to fix.
No. That's a problem. If men are seeing women that have no value, that's a problem.
It's their problem to fix. It is a woman's job to be valuable enough for a man to take her on. Because last time I checked, women ain't trying to take care of men. They trying to be taken care of.
First of all, it's not hard for a woman to find a man to get married to. What the problem is that she's swinging out of her league. Now that's the problem. But just simply getting married, that's the thing. But hold on, but let me finish. But women do have value to society outside of just getting married and having children.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna say if it wasn't a problem, they would already be married. And we come from a community where just about most of them are not. So therefore, no, they don't have it like that. Because at the end of the day, you have to line up. You have to say, hey, I am this person. This is what I can get. And I have to value what I can get in order to be valuable yourself. If you are always trying to get to something that you don't qualify for, you're not an intelligent person. Just is what it is.
But then let it be delusion. Then, but to say a person has value, man, that's going into something totally different.
A delusional woman has low value, bro. We're not saying something different. If she's delusional, her value is automatically low.
Different because we are definitely saying something different because you're saying that a woman has no value outside of marriage.
I'm talking about levels of value. There are women who are low value, and women that are not married are low value women. That's why they're not married.
That's I'm absolutely disagreeing with you with. I'm absolutely disagreeing with you.
No, I mean you can disagree, but if they had value, somebody would take them on. Nobody wants to take them on.
Because you don't need to have in order for you to provide high value to society, you don't need to be
no, brother. It's not even about high. You could be mid-range value. There's all kinds of stuff between high and low.
Those are semantics, whatever rank you want to give it. For example, a woman who is a nurse adds value to society. Women who educate or are young is valuable to our society.
Yes.
Regardless if they're married or not.
Okay, I'll deal with that in a minute. I got to deal with the super chat. But, no, I'm serious. I got a super chat. I got to get the super chat in. We got some new people trying to come up. We got a Jason Washington. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. We got a Ken. Ken is coming in. Okay. I'm not familiar with Ken, so give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna cover the screen just in case. I don't feel no bad vibes. I think everything is cool. We got a Ken coming up, and shout out to Gregory Scotland. Gregory says, "Hey Roger, how can you say that most women aren't as valuable as they think they are? I mean, they are always telling everyone that they are queens. And you know what? I think the question that you asked proved the point. If you got to tell me you're a queen, it's because more than likely you understand I don't see you as a queen. That's the reality of it. That's why you insist that you have to tell me that you're a queen. And black women, yes, they're known for keeps talking about their queens. Well, how come you're not getting queen treatment? You know, how come you're not dealing with a man that sees you as a queen? If you are the queen you say you are, where the queenliness of it? Where's the queenliness of what's going on with you? I don't see it. But if it's there, it's there. Now, again, now you were just saying a woman could have a value to society. Sure. Okay, if you have it, a lot of people with jobs have jobs that create some kind of value. Just like a young lady who works at a fast food restaurant. Yes, there is some kind of value to that. Now, how low or how high it is different. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it does not stop you from being a low value person. When you are of high value, somebody's going to marry you, or at least a mid value. Somebody's going to marry you. If people cannot see you as anything valuable outside of a job you perform, your value is low. People should value because of who you are, not what you do.
The men's value is low because when men cannot produce, they're useless. The men's value is low.
Most men are producing though.
Right, but you literally just said if somebody can't see you If somebody cannot see you outside of what you produce, then your value is low. That's men in general. That's how men view other men. That's how society views other men.
I mean, most men have value outside of just what their job is, though.
No. Whatever you can produce to the society, to the group, to the collective, right? Men are.
There is value in that, but just because a man does a job doesn't mean he don't have values outside of that, regardless of what somebody else is counting. Plus, you are trying to reduce men to women because at the end of the day, you're trying to make it where women can get credit for getting value the way men get value. Yes, men do get value for taking care of a society. Women do not.
Men and women are different, but we all are still human beings, and
women get nothing.
All human beings are expected to contribute to society.
You can contribute to society, but in different ways, and women don't get.
That's right.
Women do not get credit for doing stuff that men already do. That's one of the reasons they not get married now.
Because all society requires all human beings to contribute.
The reason a lot of men get married right now is because they think they can go do what a man does and then present that to a man and say, I'm valuable. And men are literally saying, no, you're not.
No, they're not getting married because they bitches.
Right, exactly. Thank you.
No, again, those same women, hey, I went and bought a house. I'm valuable.
The point is not her buying a house; it's her attitude. It's her
exactly, which means they're not being seen as valuable for doing something a man did.
No, because the same woman, the women that don't got the house, also not getting married because of her attitude.
A woman don't need a house to get married. That's the whole point.
You're missing the point of what Shark Sims is saying. Their attitude.
No, I got that. And the point of what I'm saying is whether they got a house or not, the attitude could get them married, which means the man ain't looking for them to produce a house.
Hey, guys, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me right now?
Yeah. Let me go ahead, brother. Go ahead. My bad for having you wait. But go ahead, Ken.
No worries, Roger. Yeah, I'm coming to you from Chicago South suburbs. I'm not going to dox myself. I'm not going to say too much, but I'm just on a quick break. But I gotta say, when I came across this, I'm not really into, the whole pop culture, living vicariously through celebrities. But when I came across this, a few things came across my mind. First of all, just the way Meg Thee Stallion is, the type of what she represents as a person, as a celebrity, and the type of crowd that follows her. Honestly, when I came across this, I didn't feel bad for her because, frankly, she's just a snake. She's just a snake and just a low class woman overall. So I didn't feel bad for her, for one. But then two, Klay Thompson. He's way smarter than I gave him credit for initially. Because when I found out he was dating Meg, I'm just like, okay. Like I said, knowing who Meg is and what she represents, how she carries herself, and then I found out Klay Thompson of all people, this high status dude, not a bad looking dude. Pause. He's going with Meg Thee Stallion of all people. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again, another messy, celebrity on celebrity, high profile power couple, and I'm like, okay, he has all the options in the world, and this is what he chose to go with. So I rolled my eyes initially when I found out they was together. But then, I found this out this week, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it looks like he finally came to his senses. He's realizing, what dudes like us already know, which is, women like Meg Thee Stallion, frankly, they not worth a damn. So, he's, basically the chickens came home to roost. So it's unfortunate that this is where we at as a society, but it didn't surprise me at all, and stuff like this is pretty common in amongst high profile people. I gotta say, they're put in the public eye constantly, but most of these people all people are people, obviously, but it seems like them more than anybody. All their flaws is amplified because they're in the public eye so much. And most of these celebrities, they're just really messy. A lot of them ain't good people. Once you find out more about their background and the type of stuff that they do behind the scenes, so this kind of could go either way. You got men and women who live vicariously through these high profile people, you know, and both sides are basically gonna dig their heels in further to whichever side of the fence they happen to belong to. So frankly, it didn't surprise me. This is pretty common in the Hollywood showbiz, you know, high profile celebrity type sphere. But you know, that's all I gotta say for now.
Okay. Appreciate you and welcome to the show. I got two more guests to get in, and I'm gonna say, yeah, they're doing what we all do. It's just our stuff ain't on the news. See, you don't know when I dated Tiffany around the corner, you just don't hear about it because you know what I'm saying. She a nobody, I'm a nobody. You know what I'm
100%.
saying. You dated LaShawn. You know what I'm saying? Who lived three blocks down the street, but you and LaShawn were both nobody, so nobody heard about it. That's all.
100%.
They just doing what normal people do. It's just they're celebrities, so people are following the story. But let me get these other two gentlemen in.
I appreciate it, Roger. I'm gonna sign out.
Okay, well, appreciate you coming. All right, we got Inspired Truth that then came in. You got the flow, and then we got one more guest after you.
All right, can you actually hear me? Let me put this other earpiece in so I can make good and sure that y'all can actually hear me.
We do hear you.
Because I wasn't really sure if it could. All right, well, peace to the panel, peace to the chat. Hope all y'all having a magnificent Monday. Let's deal with Megan. So I'm kind of inclined to agree with you, Raj. Like, we don't really know if Klay actually cheated. Like, we have rumors, we have hearsay. But on the other hand, on the flip side, we have Megan being a court documented cheater with Partisan. Like, she was dating Partisan at the same time she was getting down with Tory. Like, that's like a legal record. That's a different thing. And you go back to like his songs, like Partisan was sick about it. Like he was like really like torn up and heartbroken about this whole thing. But and then you don't see that like listed as like the double standard that it is with the women. Like, the women are looking at this in like a complete moral asymmetry framework. Like, okay, we have nothing to say with this side of things, but we can only talk about like that side of things, like and just basically kind of like demonize Klay and such. And I guess I'm a little bit aligned with the idea that maybe possibly he might have overpaid. Like, he might have overpaid for the type of relationship that he got, and he probably could have gotten a better deal some type of way. But I am kind of like mad at him because now we don't get to see like Cooking with Megan. Like, we missing out on Kaya, so we need Cooking with Megan instead. I'm gonna drop my plane right there.
Well, Megan still can't do that if that's what she want to do. If it's who she is, she can still do it anyway. I'm just throwing that out there. If that's who she is. Now, is that who she is? I don't believe it, but hey, she can do what she do. Now we got Wash and Wilda. I don't know how to pronounce that. Wash and Wilda. Well, you got to tell me how to pronounce it, but you got the flow, my friend.
Wildow, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
Doing great. You said Wildow?
Yeah. Greece
okay.
From Germany. Yeah.
What?
All right.
Oh, okay. Okay. No wonder I don't know how to say it.
I'll make it quick. First thing, Klay ain't have no business eating her spaghetti. Shouldn't have been eating her spaghetti in the first place. Like, I don't know if he ain't got no uncle or somebody had told him, hey, yo, bruh, no. Catfish and spaghetti, no. All right, but all right. So here's the thing that I was kind of noticing. There's two things, and I'll be super quick. It's a lesson for men and young men and people who start dating. You got to see how quickly women turned on him. Like when you have these kind of relationships, you know, for the Instagram or for the public or whatever, you got to know as a man, they don't give a fuck about you at all. You are just there to validate her. In the moment she's done with you or you make a mistake, that whole, not even just the sisterhood part of it, but the men on the, they gonna turn on you so quickly. It's insane seeing how quickly and everyone's making jokes. Like Klay Thompson ain't a top 5% dude on the globe. Like everyone, like we gonna call him Klay Thomas now. Like it's so childish. And the second thing I wanted to say is quickly is that he was already like paying for her upkeep, and like the number was like what, 700,000 a month. Like almost $1 million a month she was asking and he was giving him. And the problem was like he wasn't coming to the step to the altar. It's like, why would you give monogamy if you're paying that much. You know what I mean? Like because if he got married to her and then he had a divorce, he still is going to be paying that kind of money to her. So it's all a fuck over. He's paying that kind of money anyway to hit it. And then she wants him to marry him. She wants him to marry her so that she divorces him. She still gets that money. So he was like, look, I did it, and we got to keep it 100. When men have that kind of money, look, beautiful women get annoying. And I'm sure that after about a few months, he was kind of like, all right, I done seen all the tricks. I done seen everything that I'm kind of good on her now. And I think that's the difference that as men, we're not thinking about. Like when a man has that much money, like multi-$100 million man, when a woman starts to kind of get on his nerves, he replaces her. And it's that simple. I think that he just got tired of it. And I think it's that simple. So he's not a monster. He's not a dog. Whether he cheated or not, it doesn't matter. I just think essentially he just got tired of her. And I think that's the most logical explanation of all this shit, especially when she was asking for $700,000 a month. I think she overplayed her position.
Now, I'm going to say I had no idea that she was asking for that type of money. But as they say, water seeks its own level.
He was pissed. He's like, I already spent $4 million on her. He said that.
Well, my thing is, regardless of that, she is who she is, and he is who he is. He come from a background where his daddy was an NBA player. I'm
but his daddy wasn't no trick.
Well, but my thing is that's beside the point. My thing is, I'm pretty sure his life wasn't a struggle. Okay, he wasn't eating no peanut butter and syrup sandwiches because they ain't had no jelly. I'm pretty sure he ate kind of how he wanted to eat his whole life. He's lived a certain kind of lifestyle. He was able to become
Damn, that would be the most
player.
viral. Well, to see Klay Thomas try to eat a syrup sandwich might break the internet.
What I'm saying, he's lived a certain type of lifestyle his whole life. It may have even increased when he became an NBA player himself. I'm assuming that's what happened because NBA players are making more money now than they was making back then. So at the end of the day, Klay has a lifestyle and he needs a woman that's going to match that lifestyle. When it comes down to it, Megan ain't it. Now we can speculate on how much people
she got all
spend.
drunk at that fancy party that he took her to, right? And she got drunk and she was singing the song and he was just nodding his head, pretending like he, wasn't annoyed by that shit. Like it's
Megan just ain't it.
And real talk, Klay is way better with Lexi Brown anyway. The girl, D Brown's daughter. That's who he's been rumored to be fucking with. The chick that was on Gilbert Arenas.
Say no names, and here you go throwing out names. But
the chick that was on Gil's Arena, man, she fine as hell. I would pick her. Like they both play ball. She definitely probably fits him way more than Meg Thee Stallion.
Look, at the end of the day, you don't need a second woman. Meg ain't it. It just is what it is. If you have a nigga mentality and you from the ghetto, yeah, Meg is it.
But ask the men on the panel. The men on this panel, I think a majority of them would pick Lexi over Meg.
I think you're trying to argue something that don't even need to be argued. My point is, if you a nigga from the hood and you ain't never really had anything, sure, Meg is it. But that ain't the world Klay Thompson come from.
Well, no, I think most hood dudes wouldn't even take Meg serious, fam. Really, they wouldn't. It would be about a 3-month fun time, and then they would replace her, especially if they had money.
I'm saying
I've seen hood dudes.
You can include
throw away a beautiful woman easily.
You can include men with no money. At the end of the day, Klay just ain't one of those guys. He don't come from that world. He come from where people were well-to-do since he been born. He ain't had financial struggles like that. And y'all got to think about it. He's a young man who came from a daddy who played in the NBA that made good money. Then he goes to college, and then what does he do for a job? He goes to the NBA. This is not a struggling guy.
Not just an NBA daddy, but an NBA daddy that raised him. It's different,
So when you live in that type of world, Megan don't fit. She just don't fit.
Well, he does shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, Klay is on a whole nother level. Not to say that Megan was like eating syrup sandwiches or anything, according to like what she was saying on a certain person's interview. That's a sharp former football player. I'm not dropping names, but while she was on that interview, she was kind of like describing a relatively middle class, kind of decent, like semi-privileged lifestyle. Like it wasn't like she was like super struggling coming up.
Well, but my point is, as a man, you still gonna pick a woman that fits into your world. Meg is a stripper who turned rapper,
Yes, yes.
who's on television on a very public show talking about how she sees herself in dysfunctional sexual characters. She don't fit in his world. She just don't. What man
Yeah.
wants his woman on TV talk about, I discovered the show Sex in the City and these dysfunction, because I ain't watched the show, but I do know it's about dysfunctional women with sexual dysfunctional women. I know it's
Yeah.
about their dysfunctional behaviors through sexuality. What man wants his woman on TV in a very public eye talking about, I identify with this person and this person because of these things?
You
Yeah,
want the
a
answer
lot
to
of
that?
a lot of the persona though is that it kind of like makes the equivalent of like men, women equals the same thing, and like the whole thing like down the line we start like looking through all of the themes, like the way the makeup looks kind of like masculine, the way that you have like those statements of, oh, we want a man but we don't need a man, and all of those other different things, like the whole like promiscuity thing, and like the whole thing kind of like equates into the general concept of man, woman, same thing. And that theme doesn't necessarily match all
Yeah,
that well when you're trying to do like a relationship with a man like that, for
yeah,
real.
it don't work. And shout out to Landon. He said, out here trying to make Klay like Chillins. Now look, a lot of black folks love Chillins. A lot of black folks love Chillins. I ain't never had Chillins. Why? Because I came in the house one time during the family event and they was preparing the Chillins. And if y'all know anything about the preparations of Chillins, that stuff stink when you first, you know what I'm saying, when they first got to deal with that. So I come into the room, I got a mama, some aunties, and some cousins and whatnot. They getting the Chillins ready. And I walked into the kitchen, man, it smelled foul as I don't know what. And I ain't never had Chillins to this day. Because I walked in on that smell. Now, I know it's normal for a lot of black folks to eat Chillins, but I walked in on that smell. And because I associate that smell with the Chillins, I can't get to the final product. It just don't fit my world. Meg Thee Stallion just don't fit Klay world. She just don't. That's
Right, I
why I
want to do
say
a little
she
pushback
lucky.
there.
Well, I'm saying that's why she lucky she got the seat in the first place, and she should have did something better to keep it. I don't know what she did, but she didn't do a good enough job to keep it.
Roger say when Megan walk in the room, it smell like chili.
I ain't saying that,
Right,
but
can I put my?
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put I'm gonna put my tinfoil kooky hat on today and follow me, fellas. Next time,
Before you even say it, let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. Look, if you had chitlins before you smelled it, I get it, because you understand the finished product. See, I had the finished product first. I just walked in, I smelled it. I hadn't ate them yet. So at the end of the day, it's hard to try them when the smell got to me first. Now, if you ate them first, and then you like, okay, well, it started off bad, but it's going to get good later, you understand the process. That's one thing. I didn't have it that way. I got to the smell before I got to the taste. So they done for me.
I heard
It's
you the
over
first
for
time,
me.
Roger.
I
heard you the first time, bro.
Yeah, it's over with for me. I ain't trying nobody's chitlins. But go ahead, my brother. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, I'm going with you, Roger, but I grew up smelling the slaughter yard, the stock out in the slaughter yard where these kids were, from birth to 12. So I didn't want no children regardless, because, I used to go to school. You knew who's living in the neighborhood because you smelled like chitlins. If a new kid came to school smelling like Tide or whatever, you knew that kid was not from the neighborhood. They a new kid if you're smelling clean and not like chitlins. But my 10th floor Koofy moment is Meg had this situation with Tory Lanez, which created some confusion and made some things come to light about her contract situation. She started dating Klay Thompson, and they probably made her arrangement. Klay, they do like a escort type deal, Help her get her own label off the ground. That's why she was getting the support she was getting from him. And once you get X amount of dollars, just y'all break up, and you don't say y'all broke up. or she, her being from the hood, you know how hood chicks are. You may have said you gonna break up with them a million times, but we ain't together. But in their mind, they still think y'all together, and that's probably what happened. I just had my 10-4 Koopy moment that made me think about the whole situation, and I'll land my plane there.
And I'm gonna say I do understand that because that's why I want to know what the timeline is. Because I swear for God, me and this one chick, we wasn't messing each other a good year to year and a half before she got that through her mind that we don't talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? It took that long to get the hint that I don't answer your calls no more. I don't invite you over. I don't call you and ask you to do nothing. But it took a long time for her to get in her head that we was done. So again, that's why I would rather the timeline be known before I'm gonna say that Klay even cheated, because women talk all kinds of crazy at all types of different times. And at the end of the day, y'all, she just don't fit in his world. And this is the issue for, I believe, most sisters. They walk around with some kind of rage toward black men. Y'all see them all over the internet. They got a rage toward black men. Why? Because they don't fit in our world. They want the benefits of being in our world, but they don't fit in our world. And a lot of them now are getting a little bit smart where they're just coming out flat begging, saying, look, I know we don't qualify, but give it to us anyway. Now, I think they're smarter, because somebody might show some pity on them, say, well, let me throw her something, because she just flat out begging instead of lying.
Well,
At least they respect your honesty.
Yeah, I can't stand it when the chicks are online lying to each other, telling them that a man wants the opposite of what he wants, like just down the line, and they actually end up like repeating this stuff, and you're like, nah, we're pretty much direct. Like when we say we want this, we want this. When we say we don't want that, we don't want that. Like, and everything's like kind of like bizarro world, in their sphere of influence in a way.
Yeah, and I think it's just tough for women to accept that men don't want them like that, because they think because I have a vagina, they all supposed to want me. Okay, and if all of them don't want me, something wrong with him. That's why y'all get hit with that. Oh, you must be gay, because in her mind, you got to be gay before you could turn her down. That's not a sane person. It sure don't sound like sanity to me.
Yeah.
Sure, you have to remember, Roger. I run from these girls right there, because I know it's gonna be hell on wheels. Them the girls are gonna be make you, more than you can handle, or like situation. Hey, I bit off more than I can chew. I don't even want to deal with that type of situation when a girl say that one. I know she's gonna be hell on wheels.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say shout out to Urban Reed. Now he's saying Roger as if I said it. He said, what part of being a stripper you don't understand? And I'm saying, I've been saying that since the beginning of the show, Joe. You a stripper, man. Klay Thompson ain't finna be with you. It's a nice thing that you got to get into the passenger side of that proverbial car. Enjoy that ride. When it's time to get out with some dignity. Do like Black Uru said and be like, yeah, we just felt we weren't a good fit for each other, and we're gonna, go our separate ways. I wish him well, and I hope he wishes me well. That's what you're supposed to say.
I want to get back to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what you're supposed to say, but you ain't never supposed to have a real idea that you about to marry this man. Like, unless he proposed, this ain't even supposed to pop in your head. So it should be nothing to be mad about. Go ahead, Inspired.
I was just going to put like an exclamation point on what you said earlier about that whole they'll say that you're gay thing. Like, the chick could look like absolute roadkill. If you don't want it like 3 times a day while she looks like roadkill, you must be gay. Oh, you don't like a bad attitude? You're not drawn to it? You don't want to get down despite the bad attitude? Must be gay. Like, every single disqualifying thing possible, they will push the idea that there's something wrong with you if you won't tolerate it.
Because 98% of you niggas is going to smash everything moving. So they like, well, what the hell is wrong with him if he not going to smash this? I'm telling you, like, to a point, we men gotta really understand. It's It's our thirst that makes them think the way they think.
No, brother. At the end of the day, they should be smart enough to understand they could catch some dick. Just because you can catch some dick, don't mean you can catch anything else. No, they are responsible for not being idiots themselves. I understand if I do X, Y, and Z, and a woman will give me sex for it, then this is what I need to do to get sex. That does not mean she gonna love me. That does not mean she gonna treat me as a person. That does not mean she gonna do anything other than what this automatic response is. Such as paying a prostitute. If I pay a prostitute some money, she will have sex with me. That does not mean she want to go to the movies with me. That does not mean she wants to entertain a relationship. She gave me the sex because I gave her the money.
No. Hold
on.
on. Time out. Because that's not it's not the transaction. It's not as simple as that. People be lying, man. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I'm going to do this for you. Yeah, I'm doing that, right? Niggas be thirsty and lying for the P, right? So, I mean, so you're saying that she should be smart enough, but at the same time, people are not being honest.
If you get fooled by a liar, that's your issue to solve.
No, it's not. No.
That's
why there's things. That's why there's something called fraud, right? That's why.
Bro, hold on, brother. I'm not saying lying is right, but that's the reality of the world we live in, and women like it, and women like it that way. They say on a regular basis, it's his fault for being dumb. They say that all the time, so they can have it both ways.
The reality is there's laws and things that protect you from when people do lie, right? That's called fraud, and you can pursue legal action against that. So to say that it's up to you to know people lie, that's crazy, man.
No. The thing is, Megan would have to prove that she was defrauded, which I don't believe she's even making a claim about that right now.
Nobody, whether they break up, whatever, right? If the cheating allegations are true, then she is a victim, just like before. Do we have 0 victims or do we have 4 victims?
And what I'm saying at this particular point, we don't even know that Klay cheated. I said, like I'm gonna say again.
I said if.
Yeah, and I'm saying, I'm not gonna believe Megan. That's number one, because she a black woman, and black women gonna lie on black men, and they gonna lie to black men. Now, I ain't saying it didn't happen, but I'm definitely not gonna believe her.
That's fine, but if it did happen, then she's the victim, and we have to recognize that.
That's fine if that actually happened, but so far I ain't heard nobody confirm that that's the truth. Now shout out to SG. He said just be honest about your intentions and not be deceptive. Hey, that sound good. And you know what women don't like? Men who are honest and won't deceive them. So at the end of the day,
it's true.
At the end of the day, when you want women who are going to lie to you, you can't trip that he lied, because that's what you sought out. People seek out honesty, and there's people who seek out people who deceive them because they want to have an excuse about why something didn't work out. And that is also a reality. So at the end of the day, I don't know what Klay did wrong. All I know is Megan don't fit. And like I said, I knew from the time it was announced that they was dealing with each other at all that Megan wasn't gonna make it. And I ain't no psychic. I just said it's Megan Thee Stallion and it's Klay Thompson. Ain't no way in the world they make it. And that's it. Megan was a stripper. Megan got put on as a rapper. Great for her.
Man, we got to stop. Strippers are nice. Stop it.
No. I did not say anything about her not being nice. I'm just saying she was a stripper. She got put on as a rapper. And see, this is the thing. People knew she was a stripper. I'm sure there's other strippers that got married to somebody, and the man she got married to, and none of his people know she ever stripped. They have no idea she was ever stripped. But Megan is a public figure, and everybody pretty much knows she stripped.
Yeah, man, but you like, it's like you throw shade on her, man. Like,
I'm not throwing shade on her. I'm saying the chances of you stripping for a significant period of time and getting married ain't that strong.
I agree with that. But we don't have to throw that, man. We don't have to say it like that. saying?
Bro,
Like,
I even
You
said
don't like the
earlier.
tone.
I even said earlier. I even said earlier. If a woman stripped for some small period of time, maybe like 3 months or something, maybe she still could. We could look past or something. We're not looking for women to be perfect, but at some point in times, a guy gonna be looking for your morals to kick in somewhere. You can't strip for 3 years and then be like it didn't mean nothing.
But honestly, Roger, this is the first time I'm ever hearing of her being a stripper. It's on your show.
me too. Actually, I've never heard of her being a stripper. I never
Oh
heard
yeah,
this.
Megan was a stripper. You know what I'm saying? Well, I cover social media, so I remember even doing broadcasts talking about how the top female rappers were all strippers.
No,
And
man,
she was included.
I know she did go to college, and
she
she
went
been
to
trying to
college.
pursue. Yeah, she been pursuing her music career for a minute.
Okay,
And,
well, it's
yeah,
definitely been reported that she's a stripper. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, but to my understanding, it's been
She said it
reported
herself
several
on the
times
interview.
she's been a stripper.
She said it herself, right? She said it herself. How she made her way through school. She told the story.
I've never heard about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's been reports out since I've known who she was that she was a stripper. It was a big thing because Cardi, who was it? It was Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and some other stripper was like the top
Nicki
3
Minaj.
women.
Nicki
Who?
Minaj wasn't never no stripper.
No,
Yeah,
but Cardi B was.
yeah, out here wilding.
I don't
Cardi B
remember who it was,
Amber
but I
Rose was a
remember
stripper.
the top 3 women in female rap were all former strippers. And I remember Meg was included, and I remember Cardi B was included. I don't remember who the third person was. You know, it might have been one of those newer chicks that came in the game because there's a couple of more females out there. But at the end of the day, she was a stripper. I can't fix that for her. She decided to do that herself. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know?
She had to pay for college, Roger.
I mean, that's fine and dandy, but you still was a stripper. You know, I don't see how that changes anything. Most men do not marry known strippers. I don't know any man that has married a known stripper.
What, Roger?
But is this a case of getting married?
Sexy Red.
No, I mean like because
Eve.
this was Low Value Rage featuring Megan Thee Stallion, right? So is this podcast about does Megan Wright have the right to be enraged or what? What is the
My thing is most women are in some form of rage. Okay, Megan is what she's doing right now is just another person doing a rage thing, like coming out saying what she's saying, not being quiet about the situation, not handling it as a professional. But most black women are enraged. That's why you see them on the internet talking about why won't you guys talk to us anymore? Why won't y'all date us? Why won't y'all do this? Why won't y'all do that? A real man's supposed to do this and a real man's supposed to do that. They're complaining because they having this is all forms of rage they're having because they're not getting what they want because men don't see them as worth doing it.
Well, but in the case of Megan Thee Stallion, her rage is valid. Now, the case for other women that you're bringing up, well, I mean, they brought that on themselves with the Me Too environment. Me Too era.
How's
Well,
Megan's
she
rage?
mad because Clay not giving her no more money. Clay ain't giving her no more money. That rage is not valid. That means her money supply got cut off. Her money for her seed money for her record label got cut off. She bitter.
If it's true that he's been cheated, if it's true that she cheated on him, then a reasonable person would be upset about that.
How can I be cheating if I'm paying you for access to your body?
But she didn't. That's not the agreement. The agreement was a monogamous relationship.
We don't know that's the agreement. We
Rage,
don't.
Yes,
rage,
you don't know the agreement the other way either.
Okay, look, guys, it don't matter. Rage don't even have to make sense. Is women mad right now because we didn't quote unquote protect them? Y'all saw when Ashley Janae got killed. It was all type of women upset that black men didn't protect her. Now, even though she went out with a random man to a whole different country, you know, she's mad that black men somehow didn't make sure she was okay. Rage ain't got to make sense.
But in this case, it doesn't make sense. Now,
Maybe. No. You say that because you believe what some hoe said.
Hey, she ain't a hoe, bro. She ain't
From
no
my
hoe.
understanding, she is a hoe.
She ain't no hoe.
100%.
She ain't no hoe.
100%.
Strippers are not hoes.
Say that 5 times
They be
with a straight
poking
face.
something.
Yeah, say that 5
Finger,
times
a
with a straight face.
nose, a dick. See,
Yeah,
they
look,
be poking something.
yeah, I'm finna
Tongue.
have to.
Hey, you know.
I'm gonna have to close out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let Mr. Z get the final thing on this thing here. I'm gonna say shout out to Landon real quick. Appreciate your super chat, my brother. He says no, phony Cheeks Minaj was not a stripper, and I'm not accusing her of that. I'm not accusing her of that. I just remember at some point in time, like the top 3 women in the rap game was strippers, and I don't think Nicki Minaj was one of the 3. It was 3 women. I just don't remember who the 3rd person was. But we gonna have to
I'm thinking
close
of
out,
Eve. I'm
y'all.
sorry, y'all. It was Eve.
I don't know who it was. I would have to research it again. But we are 24 minutes past the 3-hour mark. If y'all are new here, make sure you subscribe to the show. But no, we do this for 3 hours. Mr. G is just coming through because y'all know how Mr. Z is. He come way after the show's supposed to be over. He think he that important. He just show when he want to. But we gonna pretend he is today. We gonna pretend he is today. But yeah, that's my man though. That's my man. Shout out to No Placeholder again. He say those zombie men should have protected Ashley. Well, I mean, we can laughingly say that, but those are not her men. The way the internet tell it, we were supposed to do it. I don't know how we were supposed to do it all the way over here, but that's how they get down, But Mrs. Z, you gonna have the final words on this one, and then I'm gonna close this thing on out. So go ahead, my brother.
We got 30 more minutes. If you got the final word, let's go.
Say that. Thank you. Maybe an hour. Maybe an hour. Maybe an hour.
I didn't say you had to give a short word. I said you got the final word. You
Right.
give the longest word you want to. Go.
Right.
You the last one. Go as long as you want.
Okay. Filibuster time. I'm a U.S. Congress filibuster time. Okay. So earlier I was privy to the back and forth about Meg Thee Stallion, or not even just Meg Thee Stallion, but women's value in this society. And the actual Webster's definition of value is it's market based, right? Let me just make sure I give y'all the right definition, right?
All right, we ain't gonna have no dead air while he looking up the definition. So
No, my bad. It did the thing on me, but yeah, the amount of money something is worth. The amount of some money that something is worth. So Hot Sauce does make a good point. If we're going off of value, then that really looks bad for men and women in America because we know niggas don't got no savings. People don't got no savings and money like that. With that, okay, if women super spend, they don't have savings, they die later, the birth rate is going to crap, they're not getting married, the system need men to get back online because the women are not overproducing, which they supposedly were supposed to do. They didn't do it. So men and young men need to be back online. What value exactly? All right, connecting that to Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion is a well-known, famous, rich female rapper who, for a little season, was connected to Klay Thompson, rich, famous basketball player, and she couldn't make it work. Many women were living vicariously through Meg Thee Stallion because Meg Thee Stallion was supposed to be the Sierra Prayer 2.0. The reason why they're so in uproar is because they were living vicariously through her. If she was, air quotes, redeemed by ending up with Klay Thompson, then they too know that their ship would eventually would eventually come in. The problem is that it's not going to come in. It's not about Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion not working. It's about all the Klay Thompsons in the Black community in specific not working with the Meg Thee Stallions. The ladies do want to believe that they can go out there, do whatever they want to do, and then somewhere is going to be some square brother that saved them at the end of the day from themselves, their reputation, their body count, et cetera, their whimsical, delusional decisions, right? So it's not about Klay Thompson supposedly, air quotes, cheating, or I want to say exercising his options on Meg Thee Stallion. is killing the idea that there's way more Russell Wilsons out there than there actually are. That is why the women are throwing an uproar. They're all over social media. Even white women is in the conversation, but especially black women. They're in an uproar because it's like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna get a Klay Thompson. No, it didn't work. So that's what it's about, really. But I definitely wanted to emphasize the idea of value. Market base is about what something is worth. Now there is something to be said about women. And childbearing and childbirth, but the birth rate is going to the crapper, including in the black community. So we can't even say they doing that. I mean, if you ain't having kids and you ain't overproducing financially, and you're not maintaining the physical infrastructure, I mean, a few of y'all are nurses, right? Are y'all in the military? No. Are enough of you nurses? No. How many of you are in the public sector? We know some of y'all got government jobs. That's cool, but like integral to the infrastructure of society, yeah, right? So like, when we start talking about worth, there's human worth, and I do believe that we all have a base level of worth as human beings. But when you start talking about maintaining this society, if they were really killing it like that, there would not be a scramble to get young men back to work to overproduce for the women who are underproducing. That's what that's about, right? And I'll pause right there. I don't know what y'all want to say about that.
Hey, that's it. Because I said you was gonna have the last word. It just is what it is. Everybody can pretend.
Somebody hurry up and respond to me. Hurry up.
Everybody can pretend they have a value to themselves, but at the end of the day, your true value is gonna be displayed through other people. What's your market value? And if won't nobody marry you, guess what? Your value ain't high. It's just that simple. If you're a woman and won't nobody marry you, your value just ain't high. It's that simple.
And to say that, Raj, this is the so I did.
Don't leave, because I need to talk to you afterwards. Don't leave.
On me or Raj?
Yeah.
No. Okay. But no, I'm not leaving. But I wanted to say to Raj. So I saw a clip of these two. Wait, say that again.
Bro, you had this closing statement. I thought we were wrapping up.
We trying to wrap up. Mrs. Z trying to bogart.
No, I just wanted to say one more thing.
Let Mr. Z do his thing, Roger. No, stop being rude, Roger. Stop being rude, Roger.
Yeah, but Roger, these women ain't out here asking to be married. So you put in the stipulation or something.
I don't care what they're asking for.
No, but so they don't care if you marry them.
No. You don't have to care what your value is, but that don't change your value.
Well, they value it. You're going to have sex with me and buy me and take me to dinner and all that. They are valued.
Again,
it's cool enough.
You don't have to care what your value is, but it won't change your value.
Well, as long as you have sex with them, they value them. You give them value.
If your value is a bodily function, you ain't got much to say.
Hey,
Ms. Z, go ahead and say what you wanted to say so I can close this thing out.
So I want us to be a bit careful. I did watch a clip of these over the hill ass black women walking down the street, going to some bar or club. So over 40 years old, and they were saying, "Hey, we're gonna make y'all pay for Meg the Stallion." So I want y'all to be careful out here. They looking for revenge. So to all you single brothers out there, or all you brothers that's exercising your options on your lady, y'all be careful out here. They looking for revenge, y'all. I'm just saying. So be careful, vengeance. So I'll pause right there.
That's gonna be it, y'all. It's been another great show. We're gonna talk a little bit backstage. Long live the habitual line. Oh, if y'all new here, we do this 9 a.m. Chicago time, Monday through Friday. So be here 9 a.m. Chicago time, Monday through Friday. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right, and I'm out.